Hello everyone, it's your host, your friend, your boy, Jet Black, the one and only, here with another exciting live stream. Sorry about the delay. I normally try to do these after midnight, but I've noticed that for these weekend vlogs, I get it off way past midnight. It ends up being it's currently 1:13 in the morning, January 13th, 2019. Of course, I'll be talking about yesterday, January 12th, 2019, in today's stream. That's what these vlog streams are for. Yo, John Mason, welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. Don't forget to smash that like button if you haven't already. You came here just in time. I just now started up tonight's vlog stream where I'm going to, of course, talk about my day and, what's been going on. Monkey said, "What's up? Yo, Monkey, welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. Don't forget to smash that like button. Truly appreciate it." Ray King said, "It's 1:13. I know. It is really early. Good to see you, Ray King. Welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. Don't forget to smash that like button. It is really early. I was just talking about that as well. Normally, I try to do these around midnight, but I just have been a little busy today. Also, thank you. We got 3 viewers and 3 likes. Digging it. You guys probably see 4 likes. Don't know why YouTube does that. YouTube's weird. It always like adds one for whatever reason. Let's see. John Mason said, signed up for Fiverr. Gonna start doing work on it soon, hopefully. Yo, that's awesome. Are you gonna do artwork? By the way, finally checked out your Instagram, John Mason. I liked one of your pictures in particular. It shows a boy who looks kind of like sad and contemplative. He almost has a zombie-like look to him. And I left a comment. So feel free to check that out. Monkey says it's 2:13 a.m. for me. So for Monkey, it's like even later. And then Ray King says he has a Vanguard match in 2 minutes. Understandable. If you have to dip for whatever reason to do your Vanguard match in 2 minutes, I totally understand. And the vlog is always still here when you're done with your match or later on when you're ready to watch. So I understand. Today, the main thing that I did was hang out with Collin Jarrod, Matt, CJ, not really with Brenda. Brenda is CJ's girlfriend, but she was mainly just there to hang out with CJ, and Avery. And for the most part, we played Smash Brothers Ultimate. So that's like a very short and sweet look at my day. Of course, I'm going to go into more detail as I continue forward. Ray King said, but I can watch and play at the same time. Oh, ballin'. Good to have you. Glad you're able to stay. John Mason said, yeah, I saw it. Thanks a lot. He said, also, for some reason on Fiverr, I can't send my gig to the buyer request. Any idea why? Is it some kind of error? So the way that I always do Fiverr, you said send it to the buyer request. What I'll do is I'll open Fiverr on my laptop because once I'm on it, I'll be able to recognize what I'm supposed to do. So buyer request, and then you say that you're unable to send your gig. What I normally do on buyer request is you put your cursor over it, you go to the very right of the gig under where it says budget, and you click send offer. Then when you click send offer, it'll bring you to like select a gig offer. You click the gig that you want, and then once you click that, you'll like type up an order. Like you type up like good afternoon, and then talk about your ethos. That's what I normally do. I normally talk about my background, what makes me qualified to do this gig versus maybe another Fiverr seller. Then I go into details about the custom offer that I want to make for them. Then you set the settings at the bottom, and then you just click. I don't remember what you click. You probably just click like send offer or something like that. Yo, Kels, welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. Make sure to smash that like button if you're enjoying the content. Um, but I'm doing it on a computer, so I don't really know what it's like on your phone to do buyer request. I've never tried that before. I guess I'd recommend to try and hit it up on computer and just see how that works. Let's see. Next up, Monkey said, hey, 961 subscribers, let's go. So we're in another 10 spot. So I always say this, but the 10s are like the hardest to climb out of for subscribers. Even when you get to really high numbers, and this isn't really high. I'm not at like 1,000 or 1,000,000 or anything like that, but the 10s always seem the hardest. So we're at 961, but I feel like within the next few days it's gonna like fluctuate. So it's probably gonna go back down to 960, maybe even dip back into the 950s again, and then you like dig yourself out of it, and then eventually we'll hit 970. But it always feels like a grind every 10s place. And then Ray King said, Jet was cool. Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. John Mason said, oh, I'm currently using my phone app for it. I do have the Fiverr app, but I only ever use it to respond to customer questions, like to answer messages on the go. I don't like using the app to really do anything other than that, so I don't have a lot of expertise on how to regulate buyer request via the app. I'm sure there's a way to search that online though. Then that one guy, Kel, said, "Hey, what's up? Yo, Kels, welcome to the stream." John Mason said, "And it's after those settings, it says it can't be sent." What does the error message say in particular? Regina's Life said something that I don't understand, but welcome, Regina. It's good to have you. Feel free to smash that like button. Truly appreciate it. Then John Mason said, "Nick, you say ballin', but can you ball like me? Probably not. I've never been a big sports guy, for real. So you probably ball a lot harder than I do." Kel said, "Just make clickbait YouTube videos to get more subs. Boom, problem solved." Nah, it's not my style. I prefer to do videos like these where I get to interact with you guys, and no clickbait's really involved. It's all about just talking about my life, playing games with you guys, doing fan polls, delivering what you want. It's pretty sweet. Then Ray King said, "It means hello." And then John Mason said, "That's why I love your channel." Thank you kindly, John Mason. Truly appreciate it. So let's see. Ray King said, "Nick, yeah, Ray King, what's up?" What am I thinking about? My day. Yeah, that was the point. So woke up this morning. I had already like eaten and showered and everything the night before I like went to sleep. So I wake up. Collin shows up. He shows up to my door, which surprised me. I kind of thought that Collin was gonna park, hit me up on my phone via like a call or text and say, "Hey, I'm here," and then I like go outside to his car and we head to his house. Instead, it was a situation where Collin was like already at my dorm door and he knocked and he said I couldn't really find a good place to park, and I go with Collin and we head to his car, so we're able to like hang out. When I get to his car, I notice that Jarrod's not there yet, so I asked Collin about it, and Collin more or less is like, "Yo, we're gonna pick up Jarrod now that I've like picked you up, so we're gonna go scoop him up." Now I'm gonna put the story on pause because I noticed there's some live chat, so I need to hit up that live chat, figure out what I've missed. So John Mason said, "As I said way back, reason I subscribed to you was your Pokemon Go video." And he said, "I don't even play it much anymore." I don't even play Pokemon Go. I currently don't have it on my phone. I said I would get it back when they introduced trainer battles, and then I haven't gotten it back, and they've introduced trainer battles. I wanted trainer battles that were augmented reality. I want it where I can hold my phone up, and I see my Pokemon and I see your Pokemon, and they fight against each other. Um, I'm not sure if they have that, but the footage I've seen has the Pokemon fighting, and it's like not like AR. It's just like inside of the game world. And I don't know. I find that less interesting. I want to like run up on somebody on the street and like see their Pokemon and my Pokemon battle, like maybe like in the middle of like a courtyard or hanging out like by like a sidewalk or something. Just see them fight. I think that would be a really cool experience. Let's see. Kel said, "I thought of a really good philosophical." Well, I don't know why I said it like that. He said, "I thought of a really cool philosophical I'd like to discuss." Is that cool? Yeah, I'm totally down with discussing interesting philosophical stuff. We had really interesting conversations the other day talking about the Green Lantern issue number 3. That actually was a really cool discussion, so I'd be down for that. Ray King said, "I will translate for her or him." Oh, for Regina Life? What did they say? I have no idea what they said. Monkey said, "Oh, that's what you were saying earlier when you said it means hello. You were saying Regina was saying hello." Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. That did go over my head. I had no idea what you were talking about. Monkey said, "Nick, you gotta put clickbait titles and look surprised on your thumbnails. The only thing I look like in my thumbnails is this." And this is from Winx Club, by the way. This is what they always do in Winx Club. I think they have their wrist sag a little bit more, but I normally keep mine up. But they do the wink and smile. My friend Jared and I used to watch and make fun of Winx Club. We would essentially like make up a bunch of jokes and memes and stuff about it, and that was one of the memes that stuck. We would take pictures and do stuff like this, and now I just use it on all my thumbnails. Let's see. John Mason said lol, and make sure to use etchy a lot. I imagine that does get a lot of views, but no thanks. Then Ray King said, "Nick, I'm using a main character deck." Oh, what main character deck are you using? Because you said you're playing Vanguard. Let's see. Kel said, "Is falling in love with someone and wanting to start a relationship with someone online as valid as a real life relationship? Specifically with a fan and a YouTuber or a streamer?" Interesting. So the question is it as valid? I don't think that you can say a relationship is invalid. You know what I mean? Like my position is that the argument itself doesn't like fully fit. You know what I mean? Because how does one invalidate a relationship? A relationship has to do with feelings between two individuals, whether those feelings are mutually reciprocated, whether it's one sided. Regardless, someone has feelings for another person, and if they both are like down to date, it more or less would be like a long distance thing. You know what I mean? So in the same way that people have had long distance relationships via like mail or like the telephone, through via the internet, whether it be like a streamer and a viewer, I feel like that could still work out. Like it's just the same concept, just applied to YouTube. So I don't think it would be that weird. I feel like that'd be totally valid in the same way any other long distance relationship would be valid. Ray King said, "We are the Winks," and then he said, "Bloom." My favorite Winx character is Techna, because she's into like technology and stuff like that. And I mean, that's like my whole thing. Ray King said Aichi Sendo is his Vanguard deck. Hold on, I got my backpack right here. Do 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 do. Uh, this is so busted because it's been in my backpack. But I also have an Aichi Sendo deck. I think this cost me like 20 something dollars. But I play Vanguard with this against my boy Max on occasion. Matt's annoyed though. He wants to get booster packs because he's like, we essentially do the same duel every time. But I don't know. With Vanguard, it's always kind of different because you never know when you're gonna pull triggers, and that can change like the whole flow of the game. So even though we're always playing with the same cards, I feel like it's still keeps you on your toes. Let's see. Monkey says, "Sorry if I'm lagging hard. My Wi-Fi is trash." No problem. I understand. And then John Mason said, "Different situation, same love." Yeah, that's definitely a good way to look at it. Monkey said, "I think it's valid, but just know that if you never meet in real life, it is very different when you guys do." True. I watched a documentary about Second Life. If you guys aren't familiar with Second Life, it's like an MMO where you can essentially make money. So the money in it, I think, is called lindens, and it's a real cash economy where the fake money in the game equals so much real money in like the real world. Like you can withdraw the Linden dollars and get like USD, like US currency, to then like spend in the real world. So there are people who like make outfits and make little gadgets and build houses and things of that nature in Second Life and sell them in the game for Linden dollars and then translate that into actual money in real life. In the documentary, it was a couple of people who were essentially doing a long distance relationship through Second Life, and then it follows them as they meet each other in the real world, and it goes from them like essentially supposedly being like madly in love to them realizing that they're just really different people, and when you meet them in person, they're just not the same as they seemed online. And I thought that was like pretty interesting. It was on Netflix. I don't remember what the documentary was called, but I remember watching that and being like, interesting. And then let's see. Ray King said, "I know," and then he said anime. The Monkey D. Luffy said, "Yeah, some people take Second Life very seriously." True. Back when I used to play Second Life, I used to hang out with people who would like build houses on Second Life, and I would go in their houses before they sold them, and I'd set them as like save points. So whenever I would start the game, I would start up in one of like the unsold houses, and I'd walk around, grab stuff out of the refrigerator that have like little fake sodas, swim in the swimming pool, things of that nature. And then Ray King said, "Questions? Oh, feel free to hit me up with questions. Totally fine with that." The monkey said, "Wait, hold up." He said, "What the fuck?" He said, "I didn't know that money in there can be real money." Yeah. So there are many different real cash economy games that exist. Entropia Universe is one. That one is like a space adventure one where you can like hunt aliens and then scavenge things from the aliens' bodies and sell them for like whatever the entropia currency is, and then if you get enough entropia currency you can withdraw that as like USD, so American currency, and then spend that as you will. And there are plenty of games like that, but Entropia and Second Life are probably the two most popular. I've played both in the past. Hunting is really hard. You probably need to put in real money if you want to become like an alien hunter, simply because in order to hunt aliens that will drop better things for you to sell for money, you need better gear. And to get better gear, you need to have money in the first place in order to buy that gear or to try and make that gear out of materials. So you're probably gonna have to put real money into the game to like buy the equipment to become an alien hunter. And then it's still skill based. Even after you have all the gear, you still have to play the game and to be able to defeat the monsters and take the supplies off them and then like sell it. So I feel like you will have to dump actual money into Entropia in order for you to then get money out of it. But I did try to sweat aliens for a little bit. Sweating was a weird thing in Entropia where you don't kill them. It's a gun that like pulls this weird resource that aliens develop, but the gun aggroes the alien, so you just run away. You just run as fast as you can so the alien doesn't kill you, and then you're able to sell the sweat that you collect from the alien, and you can sell that for like in-game currency. But sweating is a horrible way to try and make money. It sells for very little. It's really hard to do, and the process of doing it gets you killed, so it's a lot of trouble. That's the main thing I'll say about that. Then Monkey says, it's just an MMO, or is there fighting like an MMORPG? So for Second Life, it's not that much. Like Second Life isn't really based on like fighting necessarily. People can like design their own locations and games and stuff like that, and you can travel to places where people have made games, kind of like Roblox, but not really. It's not like Roblox at all. But I just needed something to compare it to. You can like travel to those places, and there are people who like role play in Second Life, and they'll have little things that you can interact with and do. So if you wanted to do fighting in Second Life, I'm sure there's a thing for it. I can guarantee you that there's a thing somewhere in Second Life for you to like fight. Entropia Universe though has the alien hunting, so I can guarantee there's fighting in that because you can like fight aliens and then sell what you get from them for money. So definitely fighting in that. I feel like there is fighting in Second Life. I've just never personally done it. I used to play Second Life and like go to nightclubs in Second Life, listen to jazz, just stuff that you would do in real life. It's just like the virtual world. But I didn't. I haven't played Second Life in years. I was like pretty young when I hit that up. Let's see. Then let me scroll up. So Ray King said anime questions. Yo, feel free to hit me up with anime questions. I'm totally fine with answering those. Monkey said, bro, let me farm some enemies and sell their loot for money. Pretty much. That's what you would do. Then John Mason says, is it then illegal to hack those games as it's real money? Yeah, yeah. It would be a legitimate problem if you hacked those games because it's like a real economy. So doing things within those virtual economies affects the value of the money, essentially. At least that's what I believe. So if you were to hack in to try and like essentially try and take money from the game or to like give yourself more money, I do feel like that is a crime because then you would try to claim that you've earned that money and take it from whatever game it was. I just feel like that'd be wrong. So yes, because I feel like it would be fraud is what you'd be charged with. You claimed that you had this currency that you didn't have, and you tried to exchange it. It's essentially counterfeiting. It's like MMO counterfeiting, but it's real money, if that makes sense. That's actually really weird. Kells said, I have another that's kind of basic. He said, if you could live in an anime, what anime would it be? You can also choose if you're a Saiyan in Dragon Ball Z, for example. If I could live in any anime, where would it be? Like if I could live in any anime world. Okay, I gotta think about it. My favorite anime is Samurai Flamenco, but I wouldn't want to live in that world. I wouldn't have any interest in living inside of that world. I have an answer for what I would do if I was in the Dragon Ball like universe, but that doesn't mean that's what I would pick. I probably wouldn't want to live there. It's a high likelihood you would just die rather than anything else occur. I guess what gets me is this anime. If it was comic books, like whose like comic book city you would live in, I feel like I could answer that a lot better. But let me sit on that one. Let me think about that one for a little bit. I'm not prepared to answer that question. I haven't given it much thought. Then John Mason said, I live in Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc V or the new Yu-Gi-Oh! Series. Oh, interesting. And then he said, huh, yeah, being in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is, because it's not like too crazy different from our world. It's just a world where Yu-Gi-Oh is like a lot more serious, and it's a lot more exciting to play Yu-Gi-Oh because you have like holograms, and some of the series it's just actually like real monsters are summoned when you play the cards. And serious shit happens in Yu-Gi-Oh, but it's not like too dangerous. I wouldn't pick Yu-Gi-Oh though. I don't think I'd ever pick a game anime to be like an anime world that I would live in. Like I wouldn't want to live in the world where like it's Beyblade or like the Yu-Gi-Oh world or anything like that. I don't think they're exciting enough. I don't think they're different enough because I can like play Yu-Gi-Oh here, even if it's not real monsters and even if it's not like crazy holograms, I can still enjoy it. And I can play Beyblade here, even if there aren't like Baybeast and like spirits and stuff living in the bays. I'm fine with that. I don't think that's that big of like an issue. Let's see. So then Monkey said, "Do people even play Entropia still though?" I don't know. I haven't heard too much about Entropia recently. I know they introduced a new mode like maybe a couple years back that me and my roommate Davis back in the day were kind of excited about. It was like a competitive game mode in Entropia where you'd face off against like other players and you could earn like prizes through it, including like the potential of getting like good stuff that you could like sell. So I was like, yo, that could be like our way of trying to like make money in it. And it was a balanced PvP thing, where it's like you face off against other players, but you're all given like the same gear and like the same stats. So you're all on equal footing. I was like, that sounds really cool because now it's all skill. It's not based on your opponent just dicking you. But I haven't heard anything else about Entropia since. I haven't been keeping up with it. Let's see. Then John Mason said dueling as a career and all. Actually, you have a good point. The idea that you could actually make money, like significant amounts of money playing Yu-Gi-Oh. Not saying that you can't do that in real life, but in the anime, there could be tournaments popping up all the time. They're just saying crazy amounts of money numbers because it's a world where they like take that seriously. So I see where you're coming from. Still not convinced. Still don't think I would go to like a Yu-Gi-Oh world. I don't think I do Dragon Ball. I don't think I do Naruto. I'm still trying to figure out what anime I would like live in. But let me continue down. Ray King said, "Ask me anime questions," and then he said, "In Hunter x Hunter." Oh, Ray King, are you saying that you would want to live in Hunter x Hunter's anime world? That'd be interesting. John Mason said, "I'd love a dual runner too." I still haven't gotten too into like Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds or into the newest series, Vrains. I don't know, speed duels get me. I just don't vibe with it as hard. SR Fire said, "Have you watched The Walking Dead?" I've seen the first episode of I've seen the first episode of The Walking Dead, and I couldn't really get into it. Zombies have never really been my thing. I get bored easily when it comes to zombie stories. They just don't really they don't interest me in the same way as like other things like superhero books. So, have I watched The Walking Dead? Yes. Did I like it? No. Couldn't really get into it. My dad really likes The Walking Dead. He doesn't watch it anymore, but he used to watch the show, and he read the comics for a good period. I feel like he's not even too far behind the comics. He just hasn't read it recently, but he got really deep into the comics. Like I said, I'm not a fan of zombies, so I didn't really get into The Walking Dead. Ray King said he would choose to live in Buddy Fight. Okay. Buddy Fight has interesting stuff going on with it. Like I said, I could never see myself living in a game anime. I don't know. Those worlds aren't interesting enough for me. Uh, I guess I'd ask why. John Mason has given a lot of good reasons for why he'd live in the Yu-Gi-Oh universe. Why would you, Ray King, live in the Buddy Fight universe? And Monkey King said, "I'd live in Parasite and be the main character." Tell me why you would want to live in Parasite. I'm curious. Kel said, "I'd live in Yu-Gi-Oh! Because I really like the game and I'm fine with the majority of our economy and education being based on a card game." Well, in that world, it works. So I'd be fine with it too. It seems to be fueling everything that exists in this world. The hottest game essentially controls massive corporations and like the choices of hundreds of thousands of people around the world. So it's an interesting world to be in, but I don't know. I still don't. It's not enough. It's not the gaming animes don't do enough for me. Ray King said yes. I'm in the new series Walking Died on Sci-Fi. Walking Died is an interesting name for a series. It just sounds like people who died walking. John Mason says it's 3:33 a.m. Make a wish. Make a wish for people who are currently in a time zone where it's 3:33 a.m. Monkey said, Davis, my last name. Oh, interesting. I used to room with a guy named Davis. Really cool dude. He's into theater and into building costumes. Let's see. Ray King said, to have a buddy and cards by my side. That makes sense. I mean, that's like the main elements of buddy fight. So if you like that, I could see you wanting to live there. That makes sense. I do think having a buddy would be cool, but you have to find a buddy rare card, and the anime makes it seem like that's really hard to get a buddy rare card. It seems easier here to get a buddy rare card. John Mason said my next choice is Durarara, as there's always something going on there. But is it always something going on that you'd really like want to vibe with? You wouldn't want to like end up wrapped up in something that you couldn't handle or control necessarily. I've only seen like the first series of Durarara. I know there's like a Durarara X2, but I never really looked into that. Let's see. SR Fire said, "Have you watched Riverdale?" I think I've seen like the first episode of Riverdale just to give it a try. Never been into Archie. Archie comics are like non-superhero comics. They're just about like normal like high schoolers. And like I said, superheroes are like my main thing. I like shonen anime because it's close to like superheroes. It's close enough for me to like get that vibe. But superheroes are my bread and butter. If it's not superheroes, I probably don't vibe with it as easily as I would if it was superheroes. Tangent said, "Hello, my friends. I like big peppers. Is that what that says? Do 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 do. I'm trying to look it up. Cucumbers. So Tangent said, "Hello, my friends. I like big cucumbers," but he said it in Spanish. Let's see. Then Monkey said, "Parasite, because the alien in his hand makes him a badass, and he is basically just a superhuman with increased stamina and strength." Interesting. Does he have to fight other parasites like him? Like, what's the conflict in Parasite? I've never watched it. Kel said, if I were in Yu-Gi-Oh, assuming all the shows were connected, like in Arc V, I'd be a Pendulum Turbo Duelist. Interesting. I like how you guys like have this like planned out. If I was in Dragon Ball, I wouldn't want to be in Dragon Ball, but if I was, I would like to be friends with Zuno, not Zeno, but the guy who like knows everything, where you can just like ask him questions and he can just be like, yeah, it's just this, like this is the answer. And if I could have any item from Dragon Ball while I was there, I'd want the reality machine, the thing where if you imagine something, it just makes it, and I feel like it would just make life easier. Let's see. Kel said, well, I already wrote what Kel said. Tangent said, my time is, and then I scrolled down too far. So I just totally missed what Tangent said. I'm really behind on the messages, I can tell. Tangent said, my time is 1:37. Me and Tangent are in the same time zone, because right now for me it's 1:41. John Mason said, I'd rock XYZ and Synchro. I definitely would enjoy Synchro and Fusion, probably. I think that's where I would go with that. Tangent said, so 6 viewers, 5 likes. Notice a pattern. Hey, if you're seeing 5 likes, you're seeing the right setup. Because I also see 5 likes. Normally, you guys see 1 more than what I see. So that's cool. And then Tangent said, hi, Mason. Hi, Monk. Then Kel said, living in buddy fight might be fun. He said you could potentially get the funny or scaly boyfriend/girlfriend of your dreams. And then he said, JK, lol. Then Tangent said, superheroes are his favorite thing. Def shows in his amazing writing. Oh, thank you kindly, Tangent. I appreciate it. Tangent said, cucumbers, not peppers. And then he said, hello, Kels. Then Ray King said, I can feel the way, and I can't see the way, but I can see the way it is going in hyperdrive. Arc 5 speed. Okay, so that's like a theme song. It sounded like a theme song, better like poetry. Tangent said, what the fuck are we talking about anyways? Someone asked if you could live in any anime, what anime would you live in? And we started talking about that. Let's see. And then Ray King said, Nick, I know one for you. Oh, tell me. I'd be happy to hear it. And then Tangent said, hey, Peach. And then Ray King said, I know where you'll live, what anime you'll hit up. Monkey said, He does fight other people. Basically, the aliens take over human bodies and they can morph. Oh, okay. Interesting. SR Fire said, pleasure. My name is Andre. Is it Andre or Andre or Andre? It might be Andre. I apologize if I'm pronouncing your name incorrectly. And he said, I live in Brazil. He said his favorite anime are Dragon Ball Z and Naruto. Oh, sweet. On the channel, we sometimes do some Dragon Ball content. I like to play Dragon Ball Fighter Z. I also have Dragon Ball Legends on my phone. And I have the Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm Legacy game that includes Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 1, 2, 3, and 4, including Road to Boruto. Let's see. So welcome. It's good to have you. Tangent then showed a gun firing off laser bullets using emojis. Monkey said the main character stopped the alien from taking over his body completely and just got his arm, but then they become friends. That kind of reminds me of Blue Beetle from DC Comics. He has a similar thing going on with that. Then Ray King said you would live in Gundam. Now, why Gundam? I feel like that's an interesting one to choose. Monkey said he starts out as like a little nerd and then turns into a killer badass, losing some of his human emotions. Ooh. Then Tangent said, ooh, scroll down too far. Let's see. Tangent said, hello, my name is Jeff in Spanish. And then he said, I probably spelled something wrong. And then he said, you can feel the way. You know the way. And then Monkey said, hey, Tangent. Then Tangent said, I would live in Boku no Hero Academia because I could have a quirk. He said, what would you guys choose as a quirk? What would I choose as a quirk, I think, is like an interesting question. Um, hmm. Maybe as a first. No, 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 no. What would I choose as a quirk is actually a really good question. Um, Mass swap. So the way that mass swap would work is that I can take any amount of matter, right, like this, and then replace it with any other thing I want that's of an equal mass. So it has like an equal weight. So this is like a business card. So I could replace it with anything else that weighed the same as this. Or really, it's not necessarily a weight thing, but had the same mass as this business card. So depending on what I have my hands on, what I can like touch in my surrounding environment, I can just trade it out for something else. Anything else I want, as long as the mass amount is like the same. So that would be the quirk that I would go for. And I guess I'm calling it mass swap. I just made that up, but I think that's the quirk that I would go for. Let's see. Tangent said Brazil is for bras. And then he said, I'm stupid. Then Monkey said, I'd be young All Might without his wound in his prime. So you would just go for like all for one? I mean, there's nothing wrong for that. There's nothing wrong with that. Tangent said, is my spelling still messed up or is it just me? You're doing a lot better, Tangent. Sometimes you'll go a little fast and it won't work, but you've been good. Kel said, I'd be the duelist that makes the pendulum archetype that use all the summoning methods, including rituals, because I'm into gimmicky stuff like that. That's cool. I feel like you'd definitely be fun to watch within that world, because not everyone likes to play with all the different special summoning types. Tangent said, yeah, I would personally go with a quirk such as like Transfiguration. Then SR Fire, Andre said, who do you prefer, Videl or Bulma? Videl all the way. I think Bulma's really annoying. Videl, when she's young, has like some fire in her. She's like an interesting character who wants to help out her community. She's not super powered, but she wants to eventually become the strongest fighter in the world like her father. She has like high aspirations for herself, and she likes to help others. When she gets older, I'm not as interested in Videl, only because she kind of settles down, becomes a housewife, and she abandons like her like fighting spirit stuff that she was going for before. And then Bulma, I just think has always been annoying, regardless of her age. Not interested in Bulma, but I prefer Videl if I had to pick. Tangent said Bulma, so I can make. Ooh, I missed something. It scrolled down hard. He said Bulma, so I can make feminist jokes. Why does the Bulma one let you make feminist jokes and not the Videl one? Like, I guess my question is, why is why is that mutually exclusive? Pardon me. John Mason said, Nick, I gotta go get some sleep soon. Sorry for ditching early, but I got a job with Dad tomorrow, and my quirk would be the one where you talk to the person, and once they reply, you have control. That actually was a really interesting power. And no problems, John Mason. I hope you and your dad have a good time on your job tomorrow, and thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Tangent said, or as another quirk, possibly disease immunity. Ooh, that actually would be pretty interesting. Then Tangent said, good idea. And then he said, bye, Mason. Then Monkey said, so if you touch a house, you can turn it into a pit of lava. As long as it was like the same mass as the house, then yeah. Then John Mason said, and my favorite is Fusion, but I picked XYZ because Fusion and Arc V didn't do too well. No spoilers. Then Tangent said, what? Then John Mason said, but I love Starving Venom. Starving Venom is that shit. I love Starving Venom. Uh, Rip. I'm sorry it got banned. Good ass card. Kel said, for everyone who knows what JoJo's is, I wouldn't want to live there because I'd really want a stand. But if I get one, I'd probably get killed by an enemy stand user. That's how a lot of these worlds are. Where if you're like, I want X, Y, or Z power in this other world, you'll probably get riggedy wrecked. If I could have any 3 Dragon Ball powers, by the way, any 3, I would pick Materialization Beam, which is like a move that Piccolo's done to make like clothes and weapons for Gohan. If you can just make whatever you want by like firing a beam out of your hand, that seems pretty useful. Shape shifting, like what Puar does, where you can kind of turn into whatever you want. And then Transfiguration Beam, which is what Majin Buu has, where you can turn anything you shoot the beam at into anything that you imagine. So essentially, abilities that focus on transforming myself, creating things, or transforming other things. Because I feel like those are just really powerful to be able to do that. And I feel like not enough characters in Dragon Ball try to use all those abilities. Because they're just really good. It's hella good. I don't know. Then Tangent said, what do you mean, Monkey? And then Monkey said, I mean Nick's mass swap quirk. Then Ray King said, you can... Ooh, scroll down too far. Ray King said, you can live in space and you can hack, and those are 2 of your favorite things. He's talking about why I would live in Gundam, and he said, but it has a plot twist, and you can live in robots, and there's more excitement. So if I know you, this will be it. Now, if I was trying to pick a fictional world that I could live in that was based on like my programming knowledge and how I could use that, I probably wouldn't do Gundam. I would do Knights and Magic. Very similar thing where they have like giant mech suits. But one of the big takeaways I got from Knights and Magic is that as he's studying magic, he learns that it's just programming. He's like, I was a programmer before I got sent to this other world where there's magic, but magic and programming are like the same thing. So because I already do like programming like normally, I could learn magic in that world. And I feel like learning magic would be really valuable. So if I could just be in that world and automatically understand how magic works, then yeah, that'd be pretty ballin'. But that's only if I'm going to another world specifically to capitalize off of programming. Actually, I just lied. I wouldn't even do Knights and Magic, because Knights and Magic, that guy, like, still, even with his knowledge of programming, has to, like, train and study so much to understand his magic. Fuck that. I would rather go into the smartphone isekai anime world. So in that world, a 15-year-old boy gets shot by lightning, and God's like, oops, I'm sorry, I didn't mean for you to get hit by lightning. So then he sends the boy into like a fantasy world where he can live, and in that world, there's programming magic. And that didn't require shit. That didn't require anything. So as long as you're well versed in programming magic, you can do stuff like program start, float 10 feet forward, program stop, and then like make stuff like levitate and shit. You essentially do like telekinesis. If I could live in any anime world, and I could only have one power, I would pick the programming magic thing, and I would go to the smartphone isekai world. That was like the coolest shit. You could just use your magic to make anything do whatever you wanted as long as you understood programming logic and could just program it into things. That's dope. That's dope. I like that. So let me see. Let's scroll through. So then John Mason said, bye, Tangent. And then Tangent said, I don't watch Dragon Ball Z. Instead, I punch bags of sand. He said, AKA, I train to be a helping citizen. I mean, why not do both? You can punch bags of sand and watch Dragon Ball Z. They don't seem mutually exclusive. Then John Mason said, I had a crush on 18 and Khalifa. So the two, like, who is the most attractive Dragon Ball girl? Because essentially you've brought it up when you brought the crush on 18 and Khalifa, and then SR Fire brought it up when they asked who do you prefer, Videl or Bulma. So let's settle it. Let's figure out who's the most attractive girl in Dragon Ball. And it's of course going to be like subjective. Um, I would say Kefla is like pretty solid. Cocoette, if you're gonna pick like an alien chick, wasn't bad. She was the female Pride Trooper who could make like pocket dimensions that are like energy orbs. I'd probably say Cocoette. I go for Cocoette. That's my solid pick. Let's see. Scrolling down, tangent. Oh, I already read that. Ray King said one for all, but it has downfalls. So I think that's what quirk he would want from My Hero Academia. Tangent said, because Bulma has blue hair. And then Monkey said, Bulma is a Super Saiyan God blue. Then Ray King said, Bulma is a stripper. Then SR Fire said, do you like Brazil? Oh, Brazil seems cool. I have nothing against Brazil. I just don't really think about Brazil that much. Tangent said, wait, there's more than a Super Saiyan? And then Tangent said, I like Brazil because of soccer. Oh, okay, dope. Ray King said, ask me an anime question, Nick. Just like any anime question, I'd ask you the question that I just asked about Dragon Ball. Who do you think is the most attractive woman in Dragon Ball? Since it seems like we've already had a couple different posts about that particular topic. Also, give me one moment because I keep talking and I've like dried out my mouth. Like I need water. So I'll be right back. I'm gonna get some water. Ah, okay. Because it just gets my throat to just talk like that so much. Tangent said, can I ask an anime question? Go ahead, Tangent. I'm totally down with that. Monkey said, I want Dio's stand to stop time, or actually Jotaro's, because it's better. He can stop time and punch fast as fuck. Kel said, no joke, my quirk would be the power to produce any form of soap from my body and be able to manipulate it. He said I'd have different types of bubble wands to make bubble shields or bubble weapons and stuff like that. That reminds me of SpongeBob. Because SpongeBob could more or less just blow whatever he wanted, like into a bubble, and it would just like work. If he like made like a bubble car, he could jump in it and like drive it as if it was a real car. And when he made Bubble Buddy, he just created like a sentient life form out of bubbles. Shit's crazy. Tangent said, wait, did Peach say Bulma's a stripper? Yeah, I feel like he did. Monkey said, so basically, you're Caesar Kells. Who's Caesar Kells? Then Tangent said, oh my gosh, imagine soap carving using the soap ability. I like that that's where your mind went. I have no idea what SR Fire said for that particular part. Can anyone translate? Tangent said, or the quirk to create food and water out of dirt and sand and then be a beachfront sushi owner. That's interesting. Do you think if anyone realized what your power was, they would like try and get you out of business? They're like, he's feeding us sand. It's sand. you know, because I am curious how that would like go with people. Um, I don't know what SR Fire said again. If someone could translate, I'd appreciate it. Then Tangent said KKK. K. Then that one guy, Kel, said, yeah, fluffy, but without the hamon. Duh, I didn't understand that part either. I think I'm falling behind on just understanding what's going on. Kazu Beans asked, are you gay? Nope. Ray King Peaches said, if you were a Titan, what Titan would you be? I actually never got into Attack on Titan. I watched the first episode, and I didn't really dig it, so I don't know about the different Titans. Tangent said, depends on your definition of gay. And then he put up an emoji that had like no like mouth. And then Kazu Bean said, he likes men. Then Monkey said, this man called me fluffy. What? Oh shit. I didn't understand what Kels was saying. He sure did. He sure did say fluffy instead of Luffy. Then Monkey said, I punched bags of sand while watching DBZ. And then Tangent said he had a wife unlike me. The monkey said 10,000 IQ. Tangent said, well, bags of sand get in the way of the TV. I feel like that has to do more with the feng shui of your place, where you're like putting your furniture. I'm sure if you rearrange the bags of sand and the TVs and yourself, you should be able to see the TV and punch the bags of sand. Let's see. Ray King said, watch V-Gate channel. What's V-Gate channel? Did you mean Vegeta channel, or do you mean V-Gate? And then Tangent said, is Totes nose de gay? And then he said, hail Stalin, in like all caps. Oh, Tangent's doing the wildebeest thing, where he pretends to be his wildebeest brother with Down syndrome. He does that whenever he types in all caps. Ray King said, he will know. Then Kel said, but guys, what about Broly? He's the thickest. And then Tangent said, I mean Trump, I mean Lincoln. Then how far back am I? Excuse me. I feel like I'm hella far back. So they're talking about thickness. I think they're talking about who's the most attractive in Dragon Ball now. Then Ray King said he does the vitamin P and the vitamin D. Then Monkey said Kefla thick. Then Ray King said, you know. And then Tangent said, vitamin D. He said, my boy wants the vitamin D. Then Tangent said, thick. Monkey said, actually, Khalifa thick. I don't think Khalifa's thick. I don't know. She doesn't have, like, a body for real. I'd say Kale has more of a body. I'm not talking about when she gets all bulked out, but just, like, normally. I think Kale has more of a shape than Khalifa. I think Khalifa just wears more revealing clothing. And then Tangent said the little water popping noise. My little canteen's already out of water. I didn't have it fully filled up. Then Tangent said, this is a controversial anime question, but anyone willing to say sexuality? What? How is that an anime question? And then Ray King said, like, just say what your sexuality is. Heterosexual. I don't see how that's anime. Ray King said the hottest Dragon Ball character for him is Android 21. I think my friend Collin would agree with you. Tangent said Android 18. Seems like androids would be pretty popular. And then Tangent said SpongeBob can blow whatever. Shame. Monkey said, shout out to Dirty Bubble from SpongeBob. He can defeat Thanos in 5 seconds. Kel said Broly is thicker than all the women in Dragon Ball, so I pick him as the hottest Dragon Ball girl. He immediately wins hottest Dragon Ball girl. Doesn't even fit the requirement of a woman. Doesn't matter. Ray King said, Nick, whoever talks in a different language, I will translate it for you. Thank you, Ray King. I appreciate it. Monkey said, I'd say Trunks is the hottest girl in Dragon Ball. Thick as fuck. It's like anyone can win. It doesn't discriminate against whether or not you actually are a guy or a girl. Tangent said, well, it's like when the little leftover bits of a cow get made in burgers. Just an original ingredient. So I think it'd be cool with sand sushi. I understand. I mean, if you told someone you made a burger out of cow, they'd be like, that makes sense. If you told someone you made sushi out of sand, they'd be like, what? Like, they'd be like, did I just eat sand? He was like, why are you charging me so much money for sand? That's everywhere. I feel like people would have problems with it. Let's see. So then Tangent said Trunks? Question mark. Also, I lost my place again. So easy. Let's see. Ray King said Attack on Titan, that you bite your hands and become a Titan until it bleeds, or would you use a cork that is useless? A cork? Would the cork be in your hand? How does that work? So you're asking me if I was a Titan, Would I be a Titan who bites my hand until it bleeds to transform, or would I have a quirk that's useless? If the quirk is useless and doesn't do anything, does your hand have to bleed? So is it a quirk in your hand and you rip the quirk out and then it starts bleeding and then you turn into a Titan? Like I don't understand what you mean. And then Ray King said, watch Vegeta's channel. Interesting. Could you be a little more specific? And then Tangent said, stop defying my logic, Jet. I'm training to be a real-life superhero. I've got no time for Dragon Ball Z, but I do have time for these streams. Sort of. Tangent, there's time for playing. You see, I'm enjoying the streams, but I'm also enjoying the Dragon Ball Z. There's time to do both things. Let's see. Then Monkey said, imagine biting between your thumb and index finger and turning into a Titan. Sounds uncomfortable and not practical. Sounds like I'd bite into my hand, it would hurt a lot and bleed, and then I would turn into a giant, and I'd be like, wow, so I can't really do anything practical at all. I'm now really big, and I can't do anything, because I don't want to crush anyone or any property, because I'll have to pay for it. There's a lot of shit you can't do. Just can't do it. Want to go to Walmart? Damn, can't fit in the building. Can't buy my groceries. Then Tangent said, imagine going into yourself. And then he said, not sexually. Hint, hint. There's something weird about saying not sexually. Hint, hint. It's like, do you mean like you shrink down? No, not even. Because how do you go? Are you going into a clone of yourself? Are you like projecting your mind outward, like you astral project, and then you fly back into your body Magic School Bus style and like explore your insides? And then Tangent said, I just realized how weird my questions are. Then Monkey said, Nani? Tangent said, top 10 anime characters who finally got laid. Name like 2. Name like 2 that like finally got laid. Goku finally got laid. Vegeta finally got laid. Game. Confirm they have kids. Let's see. Then Kel's answer to the anime question. Kel says that he is indeed gay. Tangent said, but first, sub to Watch Mojo. I mean, Nickabenson. Then Monkey said, Nick, you're going on my top 10 YouTubers who sworn. Who swore? Why is it all caps and has like multiple O's in it? And then Tangent said top 10 anime characters who sworn. And then Monkey said, yeah, the fuck you mean a cork? And then Kel said, you see, I don't discriminate. So if Broly's the hottest girl in Dragon Ball, he's the hottest girl in Dragon Ball. He did like the hard emphasis. Tangent said, don't you mean cock? And then he said, I mean cock. Does it like censor you, or are you censoring yourself? And then Monkey said, just bite your fucking hand. He said fukin. Are you guys like automatically censored? Then Tangent said cock just by itself. So does it just automatically correct it? I'm actually really interested. And then Tangent said, dang demonetization. Then Ray King said, Prince Vegeta is the channel. What does Prince Vegeta's channel show? Then Tangent said, it's the Magic School Bus. And then Ray King said, show all your Vanguard cards. Here's a list of all my Vanguard cards. It's not clear to see. You can't really read a theme of the Magic School Bus. But it's the Card Fight Vanguard Trial Deck 01 Royal Paladin Aichi Sendo. It has Alfred Early, Star Drive Dragon, Knight of Silence Galatine, Blaster Blade, Sage of Arch Jaron, Wingull, Knight Squire Allen, Strong Knight, Naruya, don't know how to say that, Allspice Falcon, Glime, Bringer of Good Lucky Epona, Flogel, Margle, and Yggdrasil Maiden Elaine. So that's all my Vanguard cards. I have more, but they're like the older Vanguard cards, so they're not like current format, and I don't have them with me. Let's see. Kel said, it sucked to be a Titan because you lose your penis. And then Tangent said top 10 anime characters who finally got laid. 1. Goku. 2. Vegeta. 3. Squidward. I don't think Squidward ever got laid. Ray King said, watch Prince Vegeta. He passes a lot of the D. Then Tangent said, I'm censoring myself. He says it's a demonetization joke. Then he said, oh wait, he said demonstration joke and then corrected himself to demonetization joke. And then he said close enough. And then Luffy said cock. Okay, so we're finally there. We finally caught up with the live chat. But I ran out of water. So I'm going to refill this water bottle, go get my other water bottle that's already in the fridge, come back, and I'm going to tell you guys about my day. Because we've gotten a little bit off topic. I know that the last place I left off, I just got in the car with Collin, and we were about to pick up Jarrod so we could all hang out. So give me one moment. I'll continue the story. I just got to put this bottle... Oh, I need to fill it with water. Don't know why I put the fucking cap on it. I'll be right back, and we'll be able to hit it up. Magic school bus. Dun, dun, dun. Tangent said, we're all just saying cook. And he said, I mean, we should just come up with alternate names to cuss. And then he said words for forking birches. Then Ray King said, 21 suck the didididi. Then Tangent said 4. Then Kel said, sorry. Guess because I said penis in my earlier comment, I got demonetized. He said, I'm going to have to post more family-friendly comments. Then Tangent said, no, 18 is where they can suck the D. Then Tangent said, same. Oh, same in regards to Kel's. I thought you said same in regard to your own message. There we go with that water. Then Ray King said, open a new page. And then Monkey said, holy shit. This is the bottle that Madde got me for Christmas. Big ass water bottle. I have it for situations just like this. And then Ray King said, 4. Prince Vegeta. Open a new page for Prince Vegeta. Some guy on YouTube that I haven't heard of. Blah, 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 blah. Prince Vegeta. Okay. Tangent said something about his dick. Prince Vegeta. Excuse me. So let's see. Prince Vegeta. I've seen this because he does the little reaction video stuff. He appears on the sidebar whenever I watch SSJ9K videos. I'd recommend SSJ9K if you're into like comedy Dragon Ball videos. Then Tangent said he's doing more of the replacement curse words. So he says fork instead of fuck, and then arcs instead of ass. Yo, Nani, welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. Don't forget to smash that like button. Truly appreciate it. Tangent said he's a Sensen. Oshima. Shinderu. Ome. Omimae memo. Shinderu. Nani? Kel said the water bottle is hecka, realizes he can't say thick because it'll get demonetized. Big. So, we get in the car and Colin's like, we gotta pick up Jarrod. Ray King said, meet party time. So we get in the car and it's like, we gotta pick up Jarrod. So Collin calls Jarrod, but Jarrod's number is like, we're sorry, but da-na-na-na-na-na, and then Collin like cuts off the phone call. And then I'm like, well, Collin, do we know if like his number is like disconnected to where like it's no longer his phone number anymore, or if it was like his voicemail box is full because he like cut it off too soon? And then Colin's like, oh, I guess you're right. We could listen to it a little bit more. So he like types in like Jarrod's number again and he calls him. So the number goes through, and it was neither one of the things I said. So it's not that his voicemail box was through like empty, and it's not that the number was disconnected. It's like this person now has a new number, but we don't know what the new number is. And I've never heard that before. Like instead of saying they don't have this phone number or that this phone number doesn't belong to anyone, they're like the phone number's been replaced, but we're not telling you what it is. And I was like, oh, that's an interesting like message. And then it suddenly starts playing a Verizon thing, and then like Colin like cuts it off. And I'm like, well, Colin, for that Verizon thing, it seems like it was probably going to give you like options, like to do more stuff, and I have no idea what those options would have been. And then Colin's like, yeah, it sounds like it was about to do the thing where it'd be like press 1 to do this and press 2 to do that. And I'm like, yeah, what are those things? What are the things that it'll say? So then he called Jarrod again, and then we went through the little prompts, and it gets to the Verizon part. And at the Verizon part, it just says twice, the number is not available. Please call again. The number is not available. Please call again. And then it ended, and we were like, why would it say that? What would be the point? It just seems redundant. But that was our weird phone thing that we did before we went to pick up Jarrod. Now I'm gonna put a pause on the story again, so I'm able to read over some of your comments. Then Nani said, "Ome wa memo shinderu." Nani? Then Tangent said, "Inan." Then he said, "Init mate." Then he said, "Is nose furry." Then Ray King said, "My friend told me to look this up, and it shocked me." And then Ray King typed in what I think is a porn website. Wouldn't go to that if I was any of these other people. Mm. Then Tangent said, so did you like the vid, Nani? And then Tangent said, stop sending us links to your merch, Peach. And then Ray King said, oh, hell no. He said, my black side is in now. Your black side? I don't know what's going on. Then Tangent said, sorry, just finished season 3 of Lucifer. How was it? I haven't really watched Lucifer. Then Ray King said, so no. And then Tangent said, whoa, black side? And then he said, by the way, just kidding. And then Tangent said, yes, porn site. And then he said, I'm just kidding. Mm-hmm. So you say. So you say. Mm. Okay. So, me and Colin go over to Jarrod's. We pick Jarrod up, and I kind of start things where I left off the last time I had hung out with Colin and Jarrod. The other day, I asked Jarrod if he could write any comic run for Marvel and DC, what characters would he write for, and what things he would change. And for Marvel, he said Ghost Rider, and for DC, he said Black Adam. So this time around, I asked Colin the same questions, and Colin said for Marvel, he would do a run of Venom, and what he would change is he would try to take some of the religious tones in Venom and bring them to the surface. Have a plot line that's specifically based on like the religion of like Venom and like how his religious beliefs tie into like his behavior as like a superhero. And then for Red Hood, what he'd do is he would really push the idea that superheroes should kill, and it would be a book about Red Hood going out of his way to like kill supervillains as a way to like prove a point that like superheroes like need to kill their villains in order to make the world a better place. Then I asked Jarrod what he thought about like the different superior Marvel characters, like how there's Superior Spider-Man, who was Peter Parker, but Doctor Octopus was controlling his body, and he decided that even though he was a villain before, that he was going to like try and be a hero, but try to be like the ultimate version of Spider-Man and go out of his way to like be the best Spider-Man he could be. And Superior Iron Man, who's more or less just Iron Man, but he's kind of evil, but he still does good stuff. It's hard to describe, but Superior Iron Man is definitely worth reading if you have not read it. Good as fuck. Good as fuck. So I asked Jarrod how he felt about like Superior Spider-Man and Superior Iron Man, because his thoughts on his own run of Ghost Rider was, in my mind, more or less just Superior Ghost Rider. So I wanted to know what Jarrod's thoughts were on that. So we talked about that for a little bit. Before I get to us actually getting to Colin's place, Let me read more of the live chat. Let's see. Do. Tangent said, Lucifer is a good show. He said, somehow the devil never utters Satan, as in him like saying Satan. I mean, the show's called Lucifer, so he probably just says Lucifer. And then Tangent said, Peach. He said, are you a dude or a red he girl? A red he girl? What's a red he girl? Ray King said, dude, and I'm. Dude, and I am Blake. I think he meant dude, and I am black. Kel said, you know that math problem that uses real life examples like Bob bought 15 M&Ms, right? He said, well, I just find ways to turn into a gay fanfic. He says, not because I'm into it, but because it's funny to me. So instead of like Bob bought 15 M&Ms, what would it be? Would it be like Bob bought like 15 gigolos? Like I don't. What? It's interesting that you do it for math problems. I don't think I've ever heard of gay math problem fanfic porn. That's a very specific genre. And then Tangent said, I would say Venom's my religion. He said Sean bought 155 sex toys. Dawn bought 5,532 watermelons for reasons. And Tangent said, and I bought a Hot Pocket. Then Kel said, yeah, like that, Tangent. Then Tangent said, and Mike bought many sex toys. That's not even a number. Ray King said, oh my god, gay math porn. Tangent said, by the way, what the fuck is a gigolo? A gigolo is a male prostitute. The more you learn with a rainbow that has a condom on it. Okay, so we head back to Colin's place. When we get to Colin's, um, we start playing video games like pretty quickly, I think. I don't even think we play like Tekken or Dragon Ball Fighter Z today. I think we jump straight into playing fucking Smash, just straight out of the box. We're just like playing Smash again. And Colin was like, hey, oh, I know what happened. I got ahead of myself. When we first got to Colin's apartment, we didn't immediately start playing games. Colin wanted to print off character sheets because we're going to try and do D&D next week. So he's like, let's print off some character sheets so we can start like filling out characters at some point today. So we go to the area of his apartment complex where they have like printers and computers. They have this weird system where you have to hold a key card up to a door and then you have to like wait for a second and turn the knob to like get into the door. Then once you get inside, there are these three computers that you can just access without like any passwords or anything like that. I'm looking at these computers, I'm like, they don't seem very secure. I'm surprised that they don't have like a password system for the computers based on like your room number or like something like that. Or just like some way for only people who are members of the apartment complex to use the computers. Because even though it has the security system of you have to hold your card up and like open the door, people can just tailgate. And what I mean by that is all you need is one person with a card to open the door for a whole bunch of people without cards to just walk in. So I was looking at the computer and I was talking on the phone with CJ, Colin's roommate. I was just talking about how like the most security this computer has is that it has an ugly picture of a koala as the wallpaper. Like that was like I was just talking about how like it just seems really exploitable. It just seems like you could do stuff. For example, if you go on Google Chrome, it showed like how a whole bunch of people had logged in to Google Chrome and they'd signed out, but you can see their full name and you can see their email addresses. And I was like, well, now you have like a whole list of people who you know either like live at Emerald Ridge or know someone who lives at Emerald Ridge and have used the Emerald Ridge computers. So you could set that up as like an email list for a spear phishing attack, where essentially you would send a fake email where you pretended to be the Emerald Ridge apartment complex, and in the fake email you go, hey, there's an issue, you know, we need some of your information in order to try and like settle this issue, and you just send that to like each and every one of those emails you saw, and then anyone who falls for it and sends you the information, boom, 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 you just like have access to that, and then you can like sell that information, use it for your own gain, stuff like that. Because my major is cybersecurity, I like to like look for stuff like that and think of like how would I like do a cyber attack if I like had access to this, and how would I like orchestrate it. So it was interesting to go with them to like the printing room and like break down the situation and see how I would do it. Mm. Okay, let me scroll up because I'm definitely missing some things in the live chat. So Tangent said, "Okay, class. So today we are learning about my husband's occupation as a sex ed teacher." Hot. And then Tangent said, "Oh." Then Thought Patrol Deputy Black Weeb, I'm gonna call you Thought, said, "What?" Then Tangent said, "The reading condom." And then he said, "Sorry, Weeb." Excuse me. This is a bit of a weird comment section. Then Ray King said, "You're smashing Nick, lol." And then Thought said, "I just joined." Then Tangent said, "Which Sherlock? Which Sherlock? Cumberbatch or Downey?" I never got into Sherlock, the television show, so I'd have to say Robert Downey Jr. I actually did like those movies. I didn't think they were too bad. Then Tangent said, "Alternate names for Benedict Cumberbatch? Go." He said, why did I type that? Guys, Blackweeb, if she breathes, she's a thought. It definitely seems like the live audience has dwindled down a bit. We're now down to 3 viewers, 5 likes. Also, welcome, Thought. It's good to have you on the stream. Let's see. Moving forward. So going past the whole like how I would do a cyber attack, Colin prints out the 10 character sheets. We go back to his dorm, his apartment, and then CJ comes out of his room, and I'm like, okay, what does everybody want to do? What does everyone want to do today? And CJ's like, well, I'd be down to play like Smash Brothers Ultimate. And then I'm like, yo, Jarrod, would you be down to play Smash Brothers Ultimate? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, Colin, would you be down to play Smash Brothers Ultimate? He's like, yeah. It's like, looks like we're playing Smash Brothers Ultimate. So we get onto that Smash Bros. And CJ's trying to figure out who does he want to pick, who does he want to play as we're like playing Smash Bros. And we end up talking about like who do we know is good in the game. I'm like, well, I've heard Inkling is really good. I've never really played as Inkling, for real. But I've just like heard good things about it. And then CJ is like, nah, I'm not gonna play Inkling. And then I said, fuck it. Normally I play Sonic. I play Sonic the Hedgehog like all the time in like Smash Bros. But I was like, if CJ's not gonna do it, I'm gonna hit up Inkling. So I learned how to play Inkling for a bit. I realized that in order to refill Inkling's paint, you kind of have to run out of paint, and then you do down B. It took me forever to figure that out. I kept running out of paint and not knowing what to do. But Inkling is pretty good, and I enjoyed playing as Inkling. Now, before I get into more Smash talk, let me read this live chat. Let's see. Ray King said, Nick, will you watch The Blue Girl? What is The Blue Girl? I don't even know what that is. Tangent said, I've noticed he cuts some of our more friendly, family friendly content down. Sometimes. Sometimes I do. Kel said, Dave wants to buy John a game while he's at Target, but it'll take 20 minutes. But John sends Dave a booty call, but Dave needs to go to his grandma's house in 40 minutes. Hold on. So Dave wants to buy John a game while he's at Target, but it'll take 20 minutes for him to buy the game at Target. But John sends Dave a booty call, but Dave needs to go to his grandma's house in 40 minutes. Well, it sounds like Dave can get the Target game, right, in 20 minutes' time, and he'll still have 20 minutes to get to his grandma's house. Then Dave has he essentially has 20 minutes to like do the booty call with John and to like get to his grandma's. So if he evenly splits it, that's 10 minutes to like go do the booty call with John and 10 minutes to go see his grandma. I would say he should reschedule the booty call because I feel like he won't have enough time. Kel said, how long will it take for Dave to bang John and get to his grandma's house in time? How far away is his grandma's house from Target? This is how far away is John from Target? Actually, no. Yeah, that's the real question. How far away is Target to John's? How long does it take Dave and John to smash? Plus, Dave's gonna give John the game that he got from at Target. That's why he got it in the first place. So how long is it gonna take for him to be like, "Hey, John, how's it going?" and give him the game, and then like give him some dick, and then how long does it take for him to get from wherever John is to his grandma's? can they meet in the middle somewhere and like plan a thing? Without knowing how long any of these things take, it's hard for me to like calculate, the right answer. Tangent said, the best way I can explain my brother's condition is like venom, a parasite that says we. He said, and eats a lot. Never knew a wildebeest could eat hot dogs. Uh, then Tangent's wildebeest brother is talking about the Sonic the Hedgehog live action movie. Excuse me. And how weird your boy Sonic is in CGI. I do think the Sonic movie so far seems like a huge meme. I don't have high expectations for it. I don't think I'll watch it in theaters. I don't think I will at all. Unless it's so bad it's good. Even then, I don't think a so bad it's good movie is necessarily good to see in theaters. Then Tangent said double tag call. And then Tangent says it takes them 12 minutes to smash, 11 minutes to say gay stuff, and 1 to do sexy time. What's the difference between sexy times and smashing? Why are like foreplay and like smash distinctly like different things? And then Tangent said, I'm not anti-gay, by the way, just saying. And then Ray King said, okay, with like a question mark. And he said, okay, what? Let's see. Ray King said, look up La Blue Girl. Look up La Blue Girl. People keep asking me to look up stuff. Turn on incognito. Don't know what La Blue Girl is, even though it's just the Blue Girl as far as I'm concerned. Something, something, something. It's an erotic anime and manga series. I see. Nope. Nope, I'm good on that. That I answered that real quick. Glad I turned on incognito. Okay, let's see. So, right. So we're playing Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Like I said, it's me, Collin Jarrod, and CJ. We're going at it. At a certain point, your boy Matt comes over. Matt joins. I apologize to Matt because last time we hung out, I didn't really have a lot of time to spend with Matt, and I spent a lot of time controlling what we watch. So I'm like, from now on, Matt, when we hang out, we got to figure out what we both like and try and like find stuff that we both like so that we're not constantly competing for control over what we watch or having the other person watch something that they don't want to watch. But Avery shows up. We're playing Smash Bros. We're having a good time. Maddie's still been feeling sad recently. She just is looking for like satisfaction in her life, something to make it feel like more like fulfilled. And it's just been like bumming her out. So I've been like trying to help her with that. The Maddie conversation becomes like a bigger thing because Avery didn't know that me and Maddie were married, let alone that me and Maddie were getting divorced. So it became like a really big thing of like trying to explain it to Avery. My friend Collin, he really like downplays like the Maddie stuff as being like more of a ridiculous thing. He makes like a lot of jokes, but even when it gets really serious, he makes a lot of jokes, which is weird. And then Jarrod, he tried to tell Avery the story of how I got married, but Jarrod doesn't really know the story, so he also underplayed it. And I was like, whoa, 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 whoa! Enough of the misinformation. I can tell Avery myself. like I got this. I was there. I'm me. It's like about my life. So then I tell Avery about like what's been going on between like me and Maddie, and Avery subscribes to the YouTube channel, so that he can like get filled in about this stuff on the regs as you guys are. Thank you, by the way. So that's a good stopping point to hit right there. Before I read more of the live chat, I think they're still talking about the sex thing. do 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 do. Tangent said turn on incognito. He said AKA anti-FBI mode, AKA the best vibe, ever. And then he said I've never used incognito. Hence why I have locks on all my apps. And then, Tangent said what to do. Why was especially almost autocorrected to rape? Especially didn't get autocorrected to rape. I don't know why you said that. So let me read your comment as if that was the case. Hence why I have locks on all my apps. It's and then it would say rape good. It didn't. It didn't, but that was hilarious. Why would, especially in rape, for so different words. Like if that happens and like any real context, I feel like you get fucked. I love fruit. Rape apples. Like if you said I love fruit, especially apples, and sent that as a text, it would be like I love fruit, and then damn, that would be a horrible autocorrect, dude. That would suck to suck. But that tickled the shit out of me. You got me with that. Kel said it takes 3 minutes to get from Dave's house to his grandma's, 5 minutes from Target to John's house, and 5 minutes from John's house to his grandma's. What? What? He has no time to do anything. So he only has 20 minutes to get the game, right? So if he only has 20 minutes to get the game from Target, and then he has to get to John's house from Target, which is 5 minutes, so that's 25 minutes. He only had 40 minutes total to work with. So he spent 25 minutes to get to John's. Then it takes 5 minutes to get from John's to the grandma's house. Uh, oh wait, hold on. That's only 30 minutes. So that means he has 10 minutes to, give John the deek. Um, yeah, he could do it. He has exactly 10 minutes to like get with John. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. No, no, that's not true. I include Target? 20 minutes at Target. 5 minutes from Target to gone. 25. 5 minutes from there to the ground. 30. Yeah, yeah. 10 minutes. He has exactly 10 minutes to have sexy time before the 40 minutes would be up. But he would have to immediately like be like, oh, get in my car, vroom, go to grandma's. Like, but yeah, he could have 10 minutes. That's all it would take for real. Probably to be on the safe side, like 8 minutes. He'd have 8 minutes. Give him 2 minutes to like clean up and head out. Let's see. The tangent said none because he can't get hard enough. Damn. It's given these math problem characters erectile dysfunction, I see. Then Tangent said, wait for the dude, right? He said, why is he going to his granny's? He said, is it for prune juice? Then he said, hey, Kels. He said, do you know a Keenan? Oh, I see what you did there. Ray King said, no. Then Ray King said, no. And then he said, Keenan and Kel. Then Tangent said, so he has 7 minutes to bang, 13 to drive, 20 for the game. He said, I'm good at math. 13 to drive. Wait, why would it be 13? So I noticed he mentioned that it takes 3 minutes to get from Dave's house to his grandma's. But that doesn't matter, because he starts at Target. If he starts at Target, he can just go straight from Target to John's house. He doesn't have to go back home, right? He doesn't have to pick something up to go to either person's house. So I don't think it would take 13 minutes. It's unnecessary. And then Tangent said, why are we debating if Dave could smash John? And then he said, oh, it would be 10. Yeah, because he doesn't have to go back home for anything. Weird gay math porn. But that's, hey, you got me to do math. I guess it's effective. Tangent said, yeah, the 3 isn't needed. Maybe pick up some new pants. Stop on the way. Get those pants. So, after I explained to Avery the whole, like, Madde stuff that's going on, and he subscribes to the YouTube channel, we get back to doing the Smash Brothers Ultimate. Your boy Collin recently got the Tales of Vesperia, like, remaster for Nintendo Switch. And Matt and Collin start talking about it. Matt gets really excited for us to like play it, and they play it for like a few minutes and then cut it off because there are too many people in the room for them to like just sit around and play the Tales of Vesperia game the whole time. It's like an RPG, and you can play it with multiple people, but you have to like build up a big party of characters so that everyone can control a different character in the party. They did do that before Avery got there. No. They did that when Avery got there, right? And then when they did that, when Avery got there, they stopped after a little bit, and then they started again later on after Avery left. Also, before Avery got there, we watched a few D&D videos that Colin was showing us. They're these short animated videos where there's this character named Wiggler. He has a weird dragon head, and he bobs his neck, and he talks about the different D&D classes. They're funny videos. They're chock full of like jokes, so they're good. But we ended up watching them twice. We took a break from playing Smash Brothers Ultimate when we heard that Avery was on the way, and during that break we watched like a bunch of the Wiggler videos. Then Avery shows up, we play Smash Brothers Ultimate some more, and then they take a break to eat pizza. They get like DiGiorno pizza at some point, and when they take the break to like get the pizza, um, they then watch the Wiggler videos again. And I was like, oh man, I'm watching them again. I don't know. I wasn't that into them to want to watch them again. They were okay and they were funny the first time. The second time, I was like, I've already seen this. I saw this like moments ago. We also watched this one guy, Davi. He does like D&D videos. His name's either Davi or Davy. But he did a bunch of D&D videos. They were much longer, but they were very informative, and I did enjoy his videos a good bit. I'm not super duper into D&D, but I don't mind watching those informative video essays on them. So I thought it was pretty solid, pretty okay. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out what else we watched on YouTube. There was a new Tier Zoo video. In case you guys aren't familiar with Tier Zoo, it's a YouTube channel where they talk about animals as if they're like video game classes. So it'll talk about like what's a top tier dog build, and it'll talk about like all the different species of dogs, break down like their stats, and talk about like which dogs are like better than others based off of like the different like abilities that different breeds of dogs have. You know, that's the kind of thing to expect in Tier Zoo. And it was the first time that Avery had ever seen Tier Zoo, and he really liked it. So that was another thing that we watched on YouTube. Eventually, I ended up making a Mii Fighter, which in Smash Brothers Ultimate you can make essentially a little cartoon version of yourself that you can play in the game, and you can have them be a sword fighter, a brawler, or a gunner. And I made mine a gunner. So I thought that was pretty cool. That's something that I did. And I think the best game I've done of Smash Bros. Ultimate I've done with my Mii Fighter. I got like 6 kills as the Mii Fighter in first place, and I was like, ooh, because normally I don't do that well. So I thought that was pretty hype. I did a whole video on that you guys can watch if you want to see the Mii Fighter that I made. Uh, but let me take a stopping point real quick, scroll back up, see what I missed. Let's see. Tangent said especially, and then he said the math. Then he said, wait, Smash Bros has a new meaning. Then Ray King said, sex is all on this channel. Then Kel said, John, well, I'm glad you finally came. And then Dave, no time, gotta hurry. He says as he slowly undressed himself. Then John said, oh, okay, works for me. It's interesting to say no time, gotta hurry, and then say that he slowly undressed himself. Then Tangent said, you guys should watch Kill Yourself by Bo Burnham. It's on YouTube. Great song. You didn't say Bo Burnham, you said Bo Burning Ham, which is interesting. And then Tangent said Deaf kills Deaf, and he said and then he did the wildebeest thing. Then Kel said Tangent, I love Bo Burning Ham. Is that really his name? Is it? Are you sure it's not Bo Burnham? Then Ray King said, I'm hungry. Gotta go get some snacks. Ooh, you're doing the snack thing? Normally, I'm used to John Mason, I think, doing the snack run, right? Doing those late night snack runs. And then Tangent said, I know, right? He's hilarious. Then Kel said, Tier Zoo and the D&D guy you mentioned, forgot his name, are dope. I really like Tier Zoo. The Davi guy or Davy guy, he's okay. Wiggler was funny, but I wouldn't want to watch Wriggler like twice in the same day. I didn't think it was that funny. So if I had to rate those 3 YouTube channels we watch, right, from like best to worst, Tier Zoo would be at the top. Tier Zoo's pretty consistent. He has solid videos, and I'm into learning about animals, and I like video games. So him teaching me more about animals through video games is a win-win for me. So Tier Zoo would be number one. The number 2 spot, I'd probably have to give to Davi. Davi's videos are like funny and informative. They're longer form videos done almost like in a video essay style to tell you more about D&D. So he gets the second place spot, mainly because I just feel like his videos are more informative, and I'm watching them more to learn and also laugh, but I feel like I get a lot of learning out of it. The Wiggler videos are also informative, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, they talk about D&D and they're hella funny. They're way funnier than Davi's videos, but because Davi's videos are longer, I feel like I learn more. Where with Wiggler's videos, it's not that I'm not learning, and am having like more fun from like additional comedy, but I would like more information. I'd like Wiggler videos to be longer. They're only like 2 minutes, where Davi videos are like maybe 15 to 30-minute long videos. So, like I said, Tier Zoo, Davi, Wiggler. Wiggler is funnier than Davi, but here for the information, less for the comedy. If it was in order of comedy, Wiggler, Davi, Tier Zoo, Tirzoo's not much of a joker. He throws in jokes on occasion, but not stuff that's gonna make you go like, got me. Let's see. So scrolling up, Tangent said, "Imagine dogs, but World War II Stalin, the Pitbull Churchill, and wait, hold on. Imagine dogs, but World War II, Stalin the Pitbull, Churchill the Terrier." He said, "I don't know U.S., but Hitler or Chihuahua." Excuse me. And then he said, "Burnham." He says it's not Birmingham. My life is a lie. He said, "I'll get it through my head." It being a bullet. Then he said, "Go over to your oven, shove your head in it." I thought you were gonna say, nope. I don't even remember what I was gonna what I thought you were gonna say. And then Tangent said, "Hey Jet, you know your old real life superhero days?" He said, "Watch Bone Fist. He's a great guy." Okay, is Bone Fist a crime fighter? I got lost as I was reading through your messages. Uh, oh, shove in. I thought you were gonna rhyme. That's what I was gonna say. So when you said go over to your oven, when you said shove your head in it, it threw me. I thought you were gonna say take your head and shove in. Like I was expecting like a rhyme off an oven for some reason, because my eyes saw that you said shove and then you said oven, and I was like, there's potential here, but you didn't go for it. But is Bonefist like a crime fighter? What does he do? Then Kel said, "Give a little kiss to an incoming train." Whoa, damn, that sounded like a Joker line. I just imagined a guy like tied to some train tracks, and the Joker's standing over him. He's like, "Give a little kiss to the incoming train," and then he pops out of the way, and the train's on its way, and Batman's like, "Oh shit," coming in on a motorcycle. Tangent said, "He's a crime fighter in Canada." Then Tangent said, "Be gay in Iran." Mm. Crime fighter in Canada. Tell me more about Bonefist. And then Tangent said, "It's the lyrics for Kill Yourself, KYS." Let's see. So, where were we? I was talking about the YouTube stuff that we watch, because we did watch a little bit of YouTube. Getting past that, at a certain point, Avery got tired. He's like, "I gotta dip." And CJ was like, "I'm gonna go pick up my girlfriend Brenda. We're gonna get like 5 guys, and we're gonna like hang out in my room." So CJ just kind of like dipped, and then Avery had to dip. So then it was just me, Matt, and Collin. And then Matt was curious if he could introduce this anime that me and Matt had watched the other day to the rest of the guys. And Collin was like, "Nah, I'm not watching any anime tonight." So instead of watching anime, what they did is they played Tales of Vesperia. And while they played Tales of Vesperia, I messaged with Danica and Madde while reading comics. I read Spider-Geddon #5, which was dope. If you guys haven't read Spider-Geddon #5, no spoilers, but nice. Spider-Geddon #5 was really good. I just recommend reading Spider-Geddon in general. Of course, I wouldn't recommend reading it if you haven't already read Spider-Verse and probably Web Warriors. You probably don't have to read Web Warriors, but I'd read those first. And then check out Spider-Geddon. It's a really nice run. It's essentially just the sequel to Spider-Verse. But if you're into comics and you love Spider-Man, definitely would recommend Spider-Verse, Web Warriors, Spider-Geddon. But that was pretty great. And then I read Superior Spider-Man #1. There's now a new Superior Spider-Man series running. That's about Dr. Octopus and a weird half Peter Parker, half Dr. Octopus young body living in San Francisco, fighting crime and working as a professor at Horizon Labs. So if you're interested in seeing more Superior Spider-Man, which is my favorite run of Spider-Man of all time, then definitely check out that Superior Spider-Man issue #1. It was pretty dope. But yeah, me and Danica talked. on Facebook, and it seems like things between me and Danica are going like really well. I wanted to ask her like on a date because me and Danica have been on like 7 dates or so, but we haven't been on a date in a long time considering the fact that me and Maddie are married. So I actually, for a long time, hadn't talked to Danica while I was like involved with Maddie. But after me and Maddie agreed that we wouldn't date after the divorce stuff like goes through, and Maddie gave me her blessing, like, yeah, you can like hit up Danica. Then I started talking again to Danica about the possibility of us dating, and she's down. We're just waiting for the divorce stuff to get through. But I wanted to ask her on a date, but I haven't received what I need from the mail that says that we're like officially divorced yet. I talked to Maddie about it, and she says we do need to check on that and figure out like what's going on. We're only supposed to have to wait like a month to get like the notice back that like, hey, you guys are officially divorced. But it's been a hot minute, so I want to make sure that we actually did get all the divorce stuff done, and that we're through with it. But instead of asking Danica out, because it's not time yet, I just gave her like a compliment, and she really liked it. I told her like how I felt about her and part of what I thought like makes her like special, and she like really appreciated it. So that was cool. That was like a cool little moment. But after all that, Collin was tired, so Matt took me back to the dorm. Me and Matt talked about an anime that we recently watched, because I keep pushing that anime in its first episode should have had a monster fight in it, but it didn't. And Matt's like, not every anime has to have a big monster fight in it. I'm like, well, the first episode was like 40 minutes long, and you're telling me you couldn't give me like a taste of what like combat's gonna be like in the anime. And he's like, well, you get to see him train, and when he trains, he fights monsters. So I'm like, when he's training, he's fighting these fucking like dodgeball monster shits that just pop when you punch them. There's no suspense, there's no stakes, there's no challenge. And he's like, well, it's more challenging than what all the other people do. They just swing their swords and destroy. All he has is a shield. And I'm like, but that's not the point. It doesn't feel like a real challenge. I want him to face off against a foe that he's like prepared to face off against, and then face difficulty in like trying to defeat them, but eventually overcome, maybe find a weakness that he can exploit, and then execute a plan in order to like defeat a monster. And I feel like with a 40-minute introductory episode to an anime, you can definitely achieve this. There's so much time. Lots of shows do that in half the amount of time. And he's like, well, it's the first episode. They got to build up the world. They got to build up the lore. I'm like, they can do that, but it doesn't have to. Like, you can still give me the taste of combat. I don't know. Clearly, I was not satisfied by that. Then Tangent says, seriously, like, open a tab and, like, look him up. So he's like, KYS is, like, actually, like, a music thing, and, like, the stuff that he posted up are, like, real lyrics to, like, a thing. And then Kel said, the song isn't actually about suicide, and he said, kinda. He said, don't worry, lol. And then Ray King said, Nick, my sis said, how big is your D? Don't believe me, I will get her. Don't believe me, I will get. What do you mean you will get her? um, but I mean, she's asking how big is my penis. Why? As you're like, and also, why would you ask for your sisters? Because if someone, if my sister, right, was like, hey, you know that guy? And I was like, yeah. And my sister said, how big is his dick? I'd be like, why the fuck are you asking? I'd be like, like, how would I know? I'm not gonna like ask that guy. Why don't you ask that guy? I'm not interested in learning how big his dick is. So that would be my natural reaction to my sister asking about someone I know's penis. I'd say, you go ask him. Because I just wouldn't ask him. So I'd say, congrats to you for actually asking, because I wouldn't do that shit. And if I did do it, I'd do what you did, where you throw your sister under the bus. You don't just casually ask, yo, how big is your dick? You go, how big's your dick? My sister wants to know. And I'd make sure my sister was right there too. I'd embarrass the fuck out of her. But I don't know. What? You think I measure this shit? Let's see. Then Tangent said, you had Five Guys? That's interesting. So yeah, we have Five Guys burgers and fries in town. I'm actually not a big fan of Five Guys milkshakes. They're $4. You can get as many things as you want mixed in. Only place in town I know of that does bacon shakes, which bacon shakes are pretty good. But their shakes are watery unless you get malted milk in them to thicken them up. So Five Guys, I feel like is nothing to call home about. Cookout's where it's at. Cookout's got those shakes. Cookout got those shakes. Let's see. Tangent said it's about how life doesn't have simple answers. Oh, the song by KYS. And he said, "Hey, Kels, you ever watch the real life superhero videos?" And he's like, "Kels," he said he left just like my mom before my birth. And then Tangent said, "I've got to go, Jet. Hopefully I'll be here tomorrow." And he said, "No, look up Bone Fist." Excuse me, the superhero guy. Let's see. Then Kel said, "Maybe she's just curious." And then Tangent said, "Get it?" Because he does the sucky sucky. And then Tangent said, innuendos. Oh, innuendos. Fuck, there were so many S's. My brain was like, is he saying Nintendo? Nintendo doesn't have that many S's. Kel said, "You see, that's the way I always ask that question to everyone I meet." He said meat as in like meat you eat. People too. He said, "I also beat him." He said, "I'll be here till he looks up Bone Fist." So you're gonna stay until I look up Bone Fist? I gotta look up Bone Fist. Boom, 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 bum, 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 boom, 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 ba do 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 do. So let's see. He has a video that's like my suit and armor. He has a hoodie and a mask. He films patrol videos and stuff like that. He has an episode 1 called Starting Out. It's cool to see people doing Welsh videos. It's been a long time since I've done like a real life superhero video. Let's see. So then I did look him up. I think his suit's interesting. I'm curious how people react to it when he patrols. Like if he patrols like during the day, I feel like anyone who saw him would be like, "What? What's going on with that?" Um, because he does have like a full mask more or less. It covers like this whole upper half of his face, and he has the hood on. Like I'm curious if people see him and immediately assume that like he's up to no good. Um, so yeah, I do think his patrols would be interesting. What's his personality like? I imagine that you've like watched like his videos and stuff like that. Let's see. Then Tangent said he has like a purple guy in front of like a Hydra logo. And then Ray King said, "Okay, my sister gave me some money, like 100. If your sister gave you like $100, congratulations. That was the easiest $100 you'll probably make." Then Tangent said, "That's him." And then Ray King said, "So?" And then Tangent said, "Especially new people, not like 6-year-old vids." Right. Like to see people within like the last few years doing the crime fighting stuff is really interesting. It had a big boom. There were a whole bunch of people who were really into it, especially after like the movie Kick Ass came out. I remember big jump. Apparently, the Watchmen movie caused like a big jump as well. So it's interesting to see more and more people jumping in, saying like, "Hey, I'm going to do crime fighting," because it's just been a hot minute since I've heard of any like new people. Kel said Bonefist sounds like a non-family friendly website. That is true. That is very true. Then Ray King said, "So?" Then Tangent said his suit is metal and paper. He says it's actually bulletproof. The metal? Has he like tested it in like a video? Like shown off like the boom, like the fact that like you can shoot it and it won't like fuck him up? Because I feel like that should be tested. You shouldn't just be like, "I'm pretty sure it'll work," and then like you get shot and you're like, "Ah." I just feel like when you feel like you're bulletproof, you're willing to take more risk than if you like aren't sure if you're bulletproof. So I just feel like it's really dangerous to like have that level of confidence to be like, "Yeah, I have like a bulletproof thing on," and then you run into something and you get shot and you're like, "Ah." The sudden realization would be really shitty. So let's see. Tangent said he's stoic and brave, I would say. That's cool. He has like a cool personality, it sounds like. And Tangent says it does sound like a not safe for work website. Ray King says, so sorry, Nick. What's the apology for? You haven't done anything wrong, as far as I'm concerned. Tangent said, I'm not inspired by Kick-Ass or Watchmen. I'm interested because of the costume and helping people with the team. He said he has tested it, but he's in Canada, so he can't test the bullet, but he was bulletproof. That actually is pretty dope. And yeah, he is in Canada, so it shouldn't be as much of a problem whether or not it is or isn't bulletproof. But I guess it's not bad to have it. And then Tangent said, no, it's buffering. The YouTube live stream? No, no, I'm sorry to hear that the YouTube live stream is experiencing a bit of the lags. Experience some of the lags with cheese. Let's see. It says total view time in hours for this video is 7 hours so far, and the peak concurrent viewers was having 7 viewers all at the same time. Wow, this video is not even 3 hours, and you guys have watched an accumulative amount of like 7 hours. That's impressive. Um, where was I in talking about my day? Matt drops me back off at the dorm. Jonathan's was here with my roommate Jared, and they were talking in the living room. I came into my room so I could watch some Young Justice season 3 and exercise. And then Jonathan's like, "Yo, come on out to the common room. Socialize for about like 10 minutes or so." Jonathan brings up the fact that there have been rumors going around about like me and Madde, and he wanted me to like set the record straight. Like what is going on with like your relationship with Madde and da 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 da. So I tell Jonathan, like I answer like his questions, and I tell him that when it comes to like the Madde stuff and like what's going on in my life, feel free to just tell people who are interested that I like do vlogs. I talk about my life all the time in great detail. There's no reason for people to spread rumors and misinformation when there's like a place where people can regularly just talk to me online, like on the internet, and just like get that info. So I tried to like clear the air, and Jonathan's like, well, the odds of people doing that are just low. If they're not talking to you directly anyways, then they just probably won't. And I'm like, well, that's just weird, for them to like ask you to then essentially just ask me anyways. So it's kind of odd. Tangent said, I have to go. Catch you later, Jet. Whoop, catch you later, Tangent. Good to have you on the stream. Ray King said, I hate my sister now. Why do you hate her? Then Kel said, by the way, sorry, I don't come to the 1 p.m. streams. He said, I'm usually still in school. He said, I'd love to duel you in Dueling Book or play you in Fighter Z sometime. Um, and then Ray King said, but she is right here. Um, why do you hate your sister now? I don't get it. But Kells, yeah, most def. I currently don't have PlayStation Plus, so I currently don't have the ability to be like, oh, are you online? Come catch these hands. Like I can't do that. But yeah, it would be dope if you'd be able to like tune into like a Fighter Z stream or to be able to like play Dueling Book online with me. And I get the idea that the stream schedule is inconvenient for school. It just works out for my schedule because I don't have classes until around like 2:45 p.m. on most days, and some days I don't have class until like 6 p.m. So I just have that window always free, no matter what day of the week it is, to be able to like do live streams and stuff like that, which is why it's scheduled the way it is. It's scheduled so that I can like wake up and if I want to go to the cafeteria and hang out with friends and still have plenty of time to like come back and then like do a stream. That's more or less the reason why it's set up the way it is. Um, so, um, talking to JoJo, I tell him like if anyone wants to know about like what's going on between like me and my wife, they can just like check out the live stream and they'll just know. So then we talk about like my major. Jonathan asked me like how's my major going because I didn't take the traditional computer science route. I'm taking like a cybersecurity major through the business school. And I tell him that things are going well. I got a couple job offers from the NSA. Things seem like they're on the up and up, and things are going great. He asked me about like my programming language experience and stuff like that. And then after that, I mainly just come back into my dorm. I watch some Young Justice season 3, like I said. So far, so good. Really enjoying the current season of Young Justice. So watch some Young Justice season 3, exercise, shower, I ate a bowl of cereal, and then I realized that earlier today, I forgot to mention this. I bought a 2 liter fruit punch Sunkiss, which tastes like liquid pixie sticks. So I bought 2 liter Sunkiss, and I bought like a gallon of milk, and I drank that whole Sunkiss while I was at Collins, which isn't very healthy at all. And I left the milk. I forgot to get the milk out of the fridge. So when I tried to eat cereal, I could only pour enough milk for one bowl of cereal. So I ate one bowl of cereal and then I ate 3 burritos. But now my burrito supply is really low. So now I'm low on burritos and I have tons of cereal, but I don't have enough milk for real. So now I'm just kind of like waiting to get more milk. Well, just to get my milk from Colin eventually. I'm gonna get my milk from Colin at some point, and then I'm going to get more burritos the next time I'm like at a store. But until then, I do have meal plan, so I can eat on campus. So it's not like I'm gonna starve or like I don't have groceries. So I should be good. Um, I just won't be able to like eat cereal as regularly as I'd want to because I just don't have the milk for it. And I can't eat burritos as regularly as I want to because I don't have the burritos for it. But I just need to restock up. It's no big deal. Um, but yeah, I completely skipped the part where we went to the store. Not much happened at the store with like Collin and Jarrod, other than Jarrod tried to get a coffee. He tried to get like a bottle of like coffee, and then he was told that the coffee wasn't on sale, and he's like, "Yeah, it's on sale." And then they went to go check it, and not only was it on sale, but it was like buy one get one free, and then it already was like a reduced price thing, so he got it like really cheap. Like it, not only was it on sale, it was on like double sale. So I thought that was an interesting story. But not much else happened at the grocery store that I remember, really. So let's see. Scrolling through, let's see. Kel said, Nick, you still haven't answered his sister's question. How big is that vitamin D? And he said, just kidding, lol. And then Ray King said, she wouldn't leave me alone. And so, yeah, he said, I'm so sorry. He said, and I said, you were my online friend. But she said, that better. And he said, so sorry, Nick. He said, I hate my sister. She's like, haha, right now, what you said. No problem. That doesn't really matter. Yeah. So you haven't like offended me or anything like that by like asking that question. And I've been asked that like before on like live streams. So yeah, no big deal. No harm done. But what am I thinking about? I think for the most part, I've gone over like everything that I've done today. So just like a quick general recap without focusing too hard on anything. I hung out with Collin, Jarrod, Matt, Avery, and CJ. For the most part today, we played Smash Brothers Ultimate. I tried Inkling, and I realized that I did enjoy Inkling. I learned a little bit of Kirby. I never really played Kirby, but Kirby wasn't like too bad, but he's not necessarily my cup of tea. I made a Mii Fighter, and I learned that I really like the Mii Gunner. I think the Mii Gunner's cool. He has a flame jet attack that you can do up close. He can throw grenades, drop bombs. I think he's pretty interesting to play, and I like zoning in Smash Bros. So, all good there. Watched 3 different YouTubers while I was hanging out with Collin. Tier Zoo, which is all about learning about animals as if they're like video game characters. Watched Davi, which is like video essays about like D&D, and Wiggler, who's like really short animated comedy videos about D&D. So I enjoyed each of those. They were all pretty good. I just didn't really like watching the Wiggler videos twice. I felt like the jokes didn't hit as hard the second time. I filled in Avery on all the relationship stuff going on between like me and Madde because I realized that I never had a chance to talk to Avery about it before. So Avery got caught up and he subscribed to the YouTube channel. Thank you, Avery, for smashing the subscribe button. Truly appreciate it. Um, Drank a whole 2 liter of Sunkist fruit punch. Kind of forgot to bring that up. Also went to Publix with your boy Collin and Jarrod, which is where I got like the 2 liter, and I also got a gallon of milk, which I forgot at Collins. Rip. Let's see. Read Spider Again number five, and Superior Spider-Man number 1. I enjoyed it, so I got a little bit of comic reading in. Talked with Madde. She's been like kind of sad recently. She's been trying to find like her purpose in life, and it's been like kind of a struggle. But I believe that she'll get through it and that everything will be okay. Um, talked with Danica, and me and Danica had like a nice like flirty moment, and I thought that was cool. Let's see. Then, for the most part, the other eventful thing was just talking to Jonathan, telling him that, hey, if people want to know more about me, I have like a whole channel where I just talk about my whole life. So they can just hit up that channel and they can just get information. There's no reason to like spread weird rumors. Um, and I watched Young Justice Season 3, which, like I said, so far so good. I want more Static Shock in Young Justice Season 3. They're putting a big focus on Black Lightning this season. I want to focus on Static. Let me learn more about Static. It seems like the focus is on older characters rather than younger characters this season. Um, but yeah, I feel like I've hit most of the beats for today, like the things that are like really stand out. Oh, Tangent left a 5-star review on the superhero story that I wrote for him. He really enjoyed it, and he plans on giving me a 100% tip, which I really appreciate. So the story only was like a $5 gig, but he's planning on trying to give me like $10 potentially. So I was like, ooh, cool. I appreciate it. Um, so that'll be cool, and I definitely appreciate that, Tangent. And I think that's about it. Excuse me. There was also the time where I was in the computer lab with Collin that I mentioned earlier, where I was thinking about like if I was to do a cyber attack, like a social engineering attack, using this computer lab, what would I do? And that was fun. So that was another thing that I did today. Um, Man, the whole point of me doing the summary at the end is to like do a summary in order, and I feel like I jumped around and remembered things, and it was just all over the place. So I might summarize my day again. I don't know. Let's see. Ray King said, okay, and he said Jet. He said it is Jet. We are the only ones. Wait, I did it. I won the match. Yo, congratulations, Ray King, for winning the match. Truly appreciate it. Let's see. Do I want to describe everything again? I'm trying to see if I can do it concisely, if I can remember my whole day and just say it all at once without going into too much detail. Like I said, uh, yeah, the easiest summary would be like I hung out with Collin, Jarrod, CJ, Matt, and Avery. We played Smash Brothers Ultimate. For a period, we watched YouTube videos about D&D and about animals. Um, for a period of time, Colin and Matt just played Tales of Vesperia together. Uh, we also stopped at Publix at one point where I picked up a gallon of milk that I would inevitably forget at Colin's house. And I also picked up a 2 liter of fruit punch Sunkist, which was delicious. I already drank all of it. Um, Learned in Smash Brothers Ultimate that I like the Mii gunner, and I made my own Mii Fighter for Colin's version of Smash Brothers Ultimate. I also learned that I like Inkling, and I learned how to refill Inkling's paint, which took me forever to realize how to do. Because I tried down B before, but you can't really do it until you run out of paint, like refill the paint meter. Let's see. And then I also tried Kirby, and Kirby was okay in Smash. Then trying to remember other stuff. I don't know. I guess there's no reason for me to review it another time. I've already reviewed it multiple times. What I'll do is what I always do. In the description box below, I have a numbered list that goes over all the individual topics that I talk about in the video. And then as you guys go through the video, you can just look out for those numbered topics as they come up, because it's a combination of those numbered topics and fan conversation, like talking with you guys in the live chat. But long story short, without going into too much detail, for real this time, read comics, played video games, watched YouTube, hung out with friends, watched Young Justice Season 3. That actually is the easiest. Also, helped out Madde, flirted with Danica. What if I could say it in 5 words? Games, shows, games, videos, friends, games, videos, friends. That's not gonna be a real sentence. Like that would just be a list of things. But I'm trying to figure out the best way to summarize it. Played video games with friends, watched videos, watched TV shows. Then Kel said, I'm glad that you got that victory royale, Nick. That victory royale. And Smash Bros? do, 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 do. Mm. In Smash Bros, I'd say the best players in our like friend group are probably Collin, Matt, um, and I just kind of put them in like a tier of their own. That would be about it. I don't think I would continue the tier list past there. Um, because I feel like everyone else just kind of like does their best, but I feel like Colin and Matt have like the strongest like victory streaks like in Smash. Everyone else, I feel like, are good, but to varying degrees. It really depends on like stage, who are they playing, who are they like in a matchup against, like in tiers. Kel said, so who so no he what he means to say is who do you main in Smash? He says he mains Roy because he's the boy. So who do I main in Smash? Sonic the Hedgehog is the guy that I main the most, but I feel like my main's going to become the Mii Fighter Gunner because I really like the Gunner. I like being able to zone opponents, and I feel like I understand what I need to do. Neutral B when your opponents are far away, side B when your opponents are close, up B when you're trying to not die, down B when you want to set a trap because you know an opponent's going to come close, but you're going to like do a long distance attack. So essentially, that's like my most clever play with the gunner is you like drop a mine on the ground and then you shoot a grenade forward. Your opponent tries to come towards you, and then when they do, they have to worry about the grenade that's flying toward them and the mine that's in front of you. If they only pay attention to one or the other, get digged because they still get blown up. So that's like the most complex play that I ever really do with the Mii Gunner. Let's see. Then Kel said, by the way, what's the deal with Vanguard? Vanguard is a cool game. I'm waiting for them to drop the mobile game in America because once they do, I'll be able to stream it, and then I'll be able to like tell and show you guys more about Vanguard. We can even play Vanguard against each other online. So Vanguard's a cool game, but I'll be able to do more Vanguard stuff once the app comes out. Ray King said, it's cool. You get to ride, drive check, damage check, you have, and then he like retracted one of his messages. Yeah, Vanguard's a really solid game. I'll talk more about it once I'm actually able to show you guys the game via the app. I just feel like it'll be easier to show the game rather than to try and describe it. So let's see. Can I say the events that happen in order without going into too much detail? Got picked up by Colin. We went to go get Jarrod. We went to Publix. I got milk and like a 2 liter of Sunkist that was like fruit punch flavored. Went back to Colin. Not we didn't go back to Colin's. Went to Colin's for the first time after Publix. Once we arrived at Colin's, we went to go print off character sheets. I shat on the security system that they had at the apartment complex for the computer lab because I felt like it was shoddy and that with the minimal amount of time that I was in the computer lab, I could have easily done like a spear phishing attack and like stolen a whole bunch of people's information. So I just feel like the security at the apartment complex where Colin's at is hella meh and could be improved. Um, then after that, we played Smash Brothers Ultimate for a period before we watched YouTube videos about animals and D&D. Then your boy Avery showed up. Matt and Colin played a little bit of Tales of Vesperia, which is like an RPG. And then after that, we went back to playing Smash Ultimate. Then after we played Smash Ultimate for a bit, we watched like the same YouTube videos again featuring Wiggler while they enjoyed some DiGiorno pizza that they got. Eventually, CJ has to leave with his girlfriend because he has to go pick her up so they can get Five Guys burgers and fries and come back and chill. And Avery eventually has to leave because he's tired. Before then, we talk about the Madde situation because Avery wasn't filled in about the fact that I had like married Madde and that me and Madde were getting divorced. So we had a really interesting conversation about that. So Avery has to dip because he gets tired. CJ goes to hang out with his girlfriend in the back. So then Colin and Matt Started playing Tales of Vesperia together while I read Spider-Gwen #5 and Superior Spider-Man, both really good comics. You should definitely check those out. I also flirted with Danica for a bit, and I helped out Maddie because Maddie's been feeling down. She's trying to find more purpose in her life. I'm trying to help cheer her up. So then after that, eventually Collin gets tired. Matt drives me back to the campus. I talk with Jonathan and Jarrod. Jonathan's like, hey, there are rumors going around about you. I'm like, hey, easiest way to solve those rumors is to fix the misinformation. Just direct people who have questions about my life to the channel where I always talk about my life so they can just be informed. I watched some Young Justice Season 3. I'm really enjoying it, but I wish there was more Static Shock. And then, like I said, exercise, eat, shower, live stream. So I feel like that was a pretty good summary of my day for the most part. Let's see. So Ray King said Vanguard has all the cool stuff. He said, Nick, can you beat Markiplier's subs? Beat Markiplier's like subscription numbers? Who knows? Feel like that would take a lot of time and a lot of sudden interest in my life. I feel like a lot of people would have to suddenly be really interested in my life. Then Ray King said, you did what? He said, you married her? So yeah, currently I'm married to my friend Maddie. Maddie and I have been good friends since the beginning of college, and we decided to get married because we've been best friends for a long time. Maddie got really hype. Wedding ceremonies were only $50. We were at a magic shop in another city, and it was a spur of the moment thing, but it was also a thing where I was like, we could be married and I'd be happy, living the rest of my life with my best friend being my life partner. So I was like pretty content with it. Immediately, her parents are like, no, you got to get it annulled. I had a similar vibe from my parents. We learned that to get it annulled, it would cost around the same amount of money, but you also would have to go to court. Where to get a divorce, you just have to like sign a paper. So we get a divorce instead. We're currently waiting for the divorce. You have to wait a 30-day period where you can either choose to say no, we no longer want to get divorced anymore. And if you don't make that choice at the end of the 30 days, you get something in the mail that says you're divorced now. So we're waiting to get that in the mail. Me and Maddie have realized that due to the fact that I'll probably have to move for work, that me and Maddie probably won't work as a couple. So Maddie's more or less given me her blessing to pursue Danica. Danica is a girl that I was going on dates with before me and Maddie got married, but not as like boyfriend and girlfriend, just going on dates to like, feel out the situation, see if we like each other. Danica is down to start doing dates again after me and Maddie are like fully divorced. And me and Danica have a class together. She's really into superheroes and comic books, and she's also into the cybersecurity hacking stuff. So that's the current relationship situation, heavily summarized. um, but yeah, what am I thinking about? I think I for the most part described my day like pretty accurately. And then Ray King said no. So no to what? That's like just the word no. And then he said way. Oh, you like separated it out. But yeah, if you didn't know about the marriage stuff, that means you probably didn't see the wedding ceremony vlog or the wedding pictures vlog or any of the vlogs where I talked about relationship drama, which is quite a few of them. Definitely check those out. And then Ray King said, what? Yeah. So that all has happened like within like the last few months. Definitely check that out. Check that. Plenty of videos on the channel. And then Ray King said, you have they? I don't know what that means. I feel like you're breaking it up too much. And then he said, link it to me. Okay, I got you. Do 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 do. Ba-da-bum bum bum. Do do dun 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 dun. Oh, thank you for smashing that like button. Truly appreciate it. Do 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 do. Okay, there's the link to it. So there's an image of that's so weird. So I looked up Nickabenson vlog wedding ceremony video, right? And when I look it up, the first result is, of course, the real video. But then when you scroll down and it shows videos, it shows one thing that's like 2 minutes and 28 seconds, but the thumbnail is one that I don't recognize, but it claims it's from my channel. It is the video. The thumbnail's just different. That's so odd. It was like a picture of a woman, and I couldn't recognize who the woman was in the picture. That is really weird to look at. I don't know. I don't know why I showed that image. And then Ray King said, okay, so. I feel like Ray King has some questions. Feel free to hit me up with any questions that you have. I'm an open book. Do, 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 do. Let's see. Because I've already gone over my day now. And now I feel like I have like a really solid understanding of my day. Like what all I did. Hung out with Collin, picked up Jarrod, went to Publix, got a 2 liter of fruit punch Sunkissed and a gallon of milk. I eventually will leave that gallon of milk at Collin's house by accident, but we haven't gotten to that part of the story yet. We go to the computer lab. Collin prints out 10 D&D character sheets. I shit on the security for the computer lab at his apartment complex because I already, from the information I gathered just going into the computer lab, how easy it would be to perform a cyber attack and steal a whole bunch of people's information because they need to, at the very least, put password locks on the computers. And then we go back to his place. We play Smash Brothers Ultimate for a bit. Then we watch YouTube videos about D&D and animals. Then after we do that, Avery shows up. CJ is also there. We continue playing Smash Brothers Ultimate. We fill Avery in on the Madde stuff, which is what I'm about to fill Ray King in on with like the Madde stuff. Um, then uh, Collin and Matt played Tales of Vesperia for a hot minute, which is a RPG that Collin recently bought. Then after they played that, we played more Smash Brothers Ultimate. Then we watched some of the same YouTube videos again while the guys ate pizza. They had DiGiorno pizza, and it was different this time. It was like a garlic pizza, and everybody was like, "It's pretty good." I didn't eat any because I only eat once a day. Uh, then after we played Smash Brothers Ultimate for a bit, CJ had to go pick up his girlfriend. They went to go eat Five Guys, and then they hung out in his room for the rest of the night. Avery got tired, and he had to dip and leave. So then Collin and Matt continued to play Tales of Vesperia while I read comics, and I messaged with Madde and Danica. After that, Matt brings me back here. I talk to Jonathan, tell Jonathan if anyone has any questions, they can hit up my stream. When it comes to laundry, realize that I left the milk at Collin's when I realized I can only pour one bowl of cereal, and then did this live stream. Let's see. So Ray King said, okay, so I thought she was black first, and is this in your dorm? And this is weird. So the film is currently, well, not the film is currently. So Georgie said, "Wow, what a day!" Yo, Georgie, welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. I hope I am saying your name correctly. Welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. Feel free to smash that like button if you're enjoying the video so far. So when it comes to the wedding video thing, Ray King, that was taken at a magic shop in Decatur, which is like the next city over. That's where we ended up getting married. That was done in the dorm. She's not black. She is indeed white. Let's see. What were the other questions that you asked? And you said, and this is weird. It is weird. I do have a weird life. I think that's just true in general. And then Georgie said, wow, what a day. I mean, it wasn't like too eventful of a day. Um, I'd say my highlights of the day, I don't think I normally do this, but I think this is worth doing. The parts of the day that I enjoyed the most, I really enjoyed going to the computer lab with Collin and talking about like the security flaws in the computer lab. Mainly because I love doing like penetration test, and I like the idea that I didn't actually do anything, like I didn't actually do a cyber attack, but talking out like here are the steps of like how I do it, and here's how I would like try and prevent myself from doing it. I just thought that was fun. I enjoyed talking to the guys about what comic books they would write, if they could write for any comic book. It was interesting to hear Colin's ideas for Venom and Red Hood, like how he would write their characters. And it was interesting to hear Jarrod's perspective on the concept of a superior ghostwriter. So that was cool. So talking about comics, talking about cybersecurity, reading comics. I really enjoyed reading Spider-Gen #5. That was the shit. Superior Spider-Man #1 is good, but it's also what I expected. It didn't pull any like weird head-turning twist or anything like that. Um, but yeah, and then I did like the Mii Fight Gunner. So I made a Mii Fighter in Smash Brothers Ultimate, and it's a Mii of myself with a gun hand. So I'd say those were my highlights. Talking about cybersecurity, talking about comic books, uh, Mii Fighter Gunner. Those are like the big things from the day where I was like, oh, that's really cool. Let's see. Then Georgie said, kinda, this is my country's original name, but in English it's George. Oh, okay, cool. Do you mind if I call you George? And then Ray King said, that's why you make streams, Jet. Exactly. That's exactly why I make streams. Is to be able to like talk about my life and hang out with you guys, and we can like talk about stuff together. That's the idea. And then Georgie said, the Mii Fighter looks pretty nice. Oh, thank you kindly, George. I appreciate it. Um, I keep trying to see if I left something out. Like if there's something I forgot. Because in the same way that I left the milk at Collins, I could have easily left something out of the story. But I feel like for the most part I'm good. Every time I go over it, I feel like I remember at least one additional thing that I like didn't mention before. So I'm glad that I like keep going back through it. Also, feel free to ask any questions about any particular part of my day that just seems more interesting to you. Um, Colin picks me up. We go to pick up Jarrod. There's like a whole story for that, but I cover that at the beginning of the video. This is supposed to be me skimming over it without going into too much detail. So Colin picks me up, pick up Jarrod, go to Publix, get the milk, get the soda, go back to Colin's place, print off the character sheets, shit on the computer lab security, go back in, play Smash Brothers Ultimate, take a break, watch YouTube, D&D YouTube videos, animal YouTube videos, actually, we didn't watch the animal YouTube videos until after Avery showed up. So, D&D videos, Avery shows up. Avery shows up. Colin and Matt play an RPG for a little bit. Then we get back into Smash Brothers Ultimate, and we're hanging out with CJ. CJ's been there since we got back from printing off the papers. I'm not sure if I mentioned that. We play the game together. I play Inkling. Inkling's cool. I play Mii Fighter Gunner. Mii Fighter Gunner's cool. I play Kirby. Kirby was okay. Sonic used to be my main, but I think I'm about to change to Mii Fighter being my main. So we have fun playing Smash Bros. They make a DiGiorno garlic pepperoni pizza. They're like, it's ready. They take a break. We watch YouTube. We watch some of the same D&D videos again. I was a little annoyed by that. I was like, it's not really that interesting the second time over. Then after we watched those YouTube videos, we watched Tier Zoo, which was the video about animals, and it was the first time for Avery to like see Tier Zoo, and he's like talks about animals, but he talks about them like they're video game characters. That's actually like really dope. So we got Avery into Tier Zoo, which is cool. At some point while we're hanging out, I tell Avery about the stuff with like me and Maddie, so me and my wife, and how like we got married and how we're getting a divorce. And then Avery gets really engrossed into it. He was really interested, and he smashes that subscribe button. So now he's subscribed to the channel. Hey, um, Avery eventually gets tired and has to dip. CJ picks up his girlfriend so they can eat food, and then they hang out in his room. So he dips. So then Colin and Matt start playing the RPG while I read Spider-Man comics and I chat with Danica and Madde until eventually Matt takes me back home as we debate whether or not anime first episodes should have fights in them, and they should have fights in them. And to give you an idea of like what the combat and action will be like in that anime, it needs a fight. It's like a sampler. Just give me a little sample. I want to know what the action's gonna be like. Then I go back to my dorm. Jonathan tells me there are rumors about me. I tell him if they need to clear up those rumors, hit up my YouTube. I watch some Young Justice Season 3, exercise, eat, shower, live stream. When I ate, I realized that I didn't bring my milk from Colin, so I only had enough for one bowl of cereal. So instead of eating 3 bowls of cereal and one burrito, I ate 1 bowl of cereal and 3 burritos. So now I'm low on burritos, and I have plenty of cereal, but I don't have any milk to eat it with. Luckily, I have meal plans, so I can eat at the university, so it's not like I'm gonna die. Okay, so let me see. George said, I wanted Goku to be in Smash Ultimate so bad, but Joker is also a good one. I forgot that there was a Persona character coming to Smash Ultimate. I completely forgot about him. Um, Goku will never be in Smash only because they only accept characters who originated from a video game in Smash. So that's just probably not going to happen. Ray King said, who is your best online friend? Best online friend. I would say when it comes to friends online, I don't have a best online friend. When I was a kid, when people used to ask me who is your best friend, I would say I kind of consider like everybody to be like equal when it comes to my friends. It's not like a pick and choose thing. It's like I have friends and that's all that matters. I think when I got older, I started to define best friend as being who is the friend that you spend the most time with, and then it would just change. It would be like, well, sometimes I spend the most time with this person, but if they get busy, then like I spend a lot of time with this person and it like bounces around kind of thing. I'd say in real life, who is my current best friend? I spend the most time with my wife Maddie. Me and Maddie hang out all the time. If Maddie's free, she's like here and we're hanging out. We're like doing magic stuff. We're getting milkshakes. We're having fun. So I'd say in real life, Maddie's my best friend. We're constantly hanging out. We're constantly doing stuff. But online, there's no one who I'm like constantly talking to, if that makes sense. Like Maddie sent me a message during this live stream, and in my time, it's like 3 a.m. Maddie took time out of like super early morning to send me a message on Facebook. Best friend. um, but when it comes to like on the internet, like who's your best online friend, who I only know through online, like not through like anything else, I don't talk to anyone on that same level where it's like constant. In other words, I don't have any. It's not this because I have friends online. I consider you guys to be like my friends online. We hang out and we talk every night. We talk in the comments, almost like texting and like messaging to each other. Um, so we're friends. I definitely would say we're friends. But best friends, I feel like best friends is like a heavy like time commitment thing. When you get to like best friend level with someone, when you're free, one of the first things that you think about is that other person also free and can we like hang out like right now? Like that's more or less like how I define best friend at the moment. But I do feel like it changes because if for whatever reason you're unable to hang out with that person for like an extended period, they like start losing their best friend status and then whoever you start talking to the most takes that place. They like become like the best friend. So then George said, Joker is probably going to be my new main. He said currently it's Lucario. And then Ray King said, not me. Also, he said buddy fight match is almost here. So you're about to be in a buddy fight match. Good luck with your match. And then Ray King said, yeah, me too with Lucario. And then George said, nice. I remember back in like Brawl, I think I played Lucario for a bit, and then after Brawl for like Smash Bros. Wii U, I tried Greninja, and then from Greninja, I eventually got into Sonic, and from Sonic today, I started getting into Inkling and Mii Fighter Gunner, and I think Mii Fighter Gunner is probably gonna be my main for a little bit. Let's see. Then Ray King said, we talk all the time. So when I say we talk all the time, me and Maddie, it doesn't matter what time of day it is. Um, I can hit up Maddie and like talk to her about like any crazy shit I could think of, anything at all. And we can have like an interesting discussion about it. Me and Maddie don't have a lot of similar interest, and the things that we do share interest in, we like for different reasons. But for whatever reason, we can talk about anything. We can make anything entertaining. Um, we're always hanging out. She's always like at my dorm, and if we're not at the dorm, we're always at cookout getting milkshakes. or we're at a magic store exploring like magic and like learning more about like spells and stuff like that. I've known Maddie for years. We've spent like a whole summer together once where she would come over to my place every day and we would hang out until it like got late and she had to go home. Sometimes she'd just spend the night anyways. Um, like really close. I know Maddie better than I know most other people. Uh, I feel like that is now like the bar that has been set for best friend. I feel like online or otherwise, it has to be a thing where it's like a strong commitment. You guys are just like constantly interacting with each other. Uh, until I hit that from an online sphere, I don't necessarily have like an online best friend. And then Ray King said, we can do that too. So, well, we'd have to do that for it to like be considered an online best friend. Until then, I can't say that I have an online best friend. Then Kel said, I'm back. He said, my order of mains was Sonic and Brawl, Bowser Jr., to Corrin, to Roy, and Smash 4, and then Roy for now in Ultimate. Then George said, have you ever heard of an online game called Super Smash Flash 2? He said Goku is playable, and Naruto, and Ichigo, and other characters. I've heard of games where they're essentially like Smash clones where you can play as anime characters. I just didn't know the name of it, but I have heard that before. And then Ray King said yes, yes, yes. And then he said Naruto. Let's see. But I think I now have definitely nailed what I've done for today. Uh, I've now said it multiple times over. I feel like I'm well versed in it, and I think I could say it without missing anything. Collin picks me up. We pick up Jarrod. We go to Publix. I get soda and milk. I eventually end up leaving that milk at Collin's. We go to Collin's apartment complex. He prints out 10 character sheets for D&D. I shit on the computer lab at his apartment complex. It has horrible security. I talk about how if I was like a bad guy, I could use that horrible security in order to like actually like steal people's information. I go back to Colin's apartment. And his roommate's there, CJ. So we decide to play Smash Brothers Ultimate. I recommend to CJ that he should try Inkling from Splatoon because Inkling's good. And then CJ doesn't take my advice, so I play Inkling instead. And I'm like, wow, I really like Inkling. Inkling's pretty dope. So then we hear that Avery's going to come by, and was like, well, we'll take a break from Smash Brothers Ultimate because when Avery gets here, he'll want to play, and we don't want to get burned out on it. So we watch D&D videos starring this animated character called Wiggler. He makes a whole bunch of D&D jokes and it's funny, but it's a really short video. And we do that. So then after we watch the Wiggler videos, your boy Avery shows up, and then Matt's like, hey, have you heard of this new Tales of Vesperia game, Collin? It's like a remaster for the Nintendo Switch. And Collin's like, it's right there. It's right next to my TV. And Matt's like, what? Let's put that bitch in. Let's start playing that right now. So they played Tales of Vesperia for like 5 minutes, and then Collin's like, I'm in a house full of people. How the fuck are we gonna sit here and have them just all watch me play? We need to do something we can all do together. So Avery's like Smash Ultimate, and we're like Smash Ultimate. So we get back into Smash Ultimate. I'm trying different characters. I try Kirby. I think he's okay. He's kind of weird. He's not my playstyle. And then I try Mii Gunner, and I'm like, whoa. Mii Gunner with the sauce? Okay. So I end up making a Mii Fighter version of myself because at a certain point, Collin has to drop Jarrod off at the local card shop. I forgot all about that. I forgot how Jarrod left the picture. I also skipped over the part where I guess technically I haven't yet, but there's this whole section where Avery doesn't know that I'm married to Madde. So we have this big reveal where like I tell Avery that like I'm married to Madde and that me and Madde are getting a divorce. And Avery is like gets really engrossed in the conversation. He eventually smashes that subscribe button. He subscribes to the YouTube channel so he can keep up with like what's going on with my life. Jarrod has to get taken to the card shop because I guess he's going to play Magic the Gathering at the card shop. Meanwhile, while they're there, I chill back at the apartment and I make my own Mii character so I can have my own Mii Gunner. There's a whole video on the channel about that if you want to see the Mii Gunner that I made. He's pretty fresh. He specializes in shooting grenades, dropping bombs, putting mines down. He's an explosives expert. And the best game of Smash I've played with him. I got like 6 kills in like a big multiplayer game of Smash. So I was pretty proud of that. We're playing with like 5 or 6 people at a time, all on controllers. I think I forgot to mention that Matt showed up. Matt shows up at some point to play with us. At first, it's like me, Collin, Jarrod, and CJ, but Matt does arrive and he gets into it before Avery shows up. So Jarrod has to go back to the card shop. I forgot to mention Avery also made his own Mii Fighter, but he hates it. That was more or less the moral of the story for that one. That's why I think I skipped over it. Avery takes like a good bit of time working on a Mii Fighter that's like a swordsman, and then he's like, "This is shitty. I don't like it," and then we just like go past it. Um, so Gerard goes to the card shop. Avery gets tired. CJ picks up his girlfriend so that him and his girlfriend can hang out. So then it gets down to just me, Collin, and Matt. Collin and Matt play Tales of Vesperia while I talk with Madde and Danica on Facebook, read Spider-Man comics, um, and we do that until around the time where Collin gets tired. Matt takes me back to the dorm, and I talk shit about an anime that Matt really likes, and Matt's like, "Stop talking shit about my anime," and I'm like, "Where's the suspense? Why isn't the main character getting challenged? Blah 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 blah." And then make it back to the dorm. Jonathan tells me there's a bunch of not rooms, rumors floating around about me, and I'm like, "Let me set the record straight. If anyone wants to know about my life, check out my live stream." Realize I left the milk at Collins. Pour a single bowl of cereal for myself. Eat 3 burritos. Now I'm low on burritos, and I can't eat any of the cereal I have. I have a shit ton of cereal. Don't have milk for it. Uh, like I said, I exercised first before I ate. Then I showered. Bam, live stream. Also, when I exercised and ate, I watched Young Justice season 3. Really love it. Only complaint: wish there was more Static Shock. Love Static Shock. Give me more Static Shock, please. So there we go. That's my day in a nutshell. Let's see. So Ray King said Goku sucks on that game when talking about Super Smash Flash 2. Then Kel said, I haven't played Smash Flash 2 in a long time, but I used to main Luffy. Sounds like it had a whole bunch of anime characters in it. Then Ray King said, Vanguard. Excuse me. Then George said, well, he is my main there, but he's not that bad, at least not to me. So George normally mains Goku in Super Smash Flash 2. Ray King said, I saw your match with Kirby. Yeah, so I have played Vanguard online on Untap. Untap is hard to stream. Untap likes to occasionally like cut out, and whenever Untap cuts out is gross. It's also another non-automated dueling website. I really prefer automated dueling unless we're playing with custom cards, to which then I understand why you can't. So that's why I'm waiting for the Vanguard app to come out so I can do more Vanguard gameplay on the channel. Let's see. Then Ray King said, oh yeah, he said, but no super. He said, I am on TikTok. He said, and this is so funny. Then George said, I'm a really big fan of Untap.in. I mostly play Dragon Ball Super there. I have played a good bit of Dragon Ball Super on Untap on the channel. And by a good bit, I mean like a few hours worth, but not like too many videos of that. And it's okay. Then Ray King said, oh my god. Then Kels said, this stream was fun, but it's time to go. Bye bye. Understandable. Catch you later, Kels. I need to start wrapping it up too. It's like been 2.5 hours. Ray King said, TikTok is funny. Well, that's cool to hear. Thank you all once again for tuning in. I feel like I now have officially reviewed over my day enough. If you like this video, make sure to smash that like button. Favorite, comment, subscribe, and ding ding ding, ring that notification bell to be notified whenever we do these live streams. Thank you all once again for staying tuned with me for so long. Ray King said, don't go. I kind of need to. So it is currently 3:46 a.m. I gotta go to bed, dude. At some point, everybody has to go to sleep. uh, so I apologize. I do have to get off for now. But thank you all once again for tuning in, and I hope you all have a wonderful night. Don't worry, I do these vlogs daily, so I'll have another vlog coming up after midnight the next day. So stay tuned. This is your host, your friend, your boy, Jet Black One Only, logging out.